Hey, Kristen, can you hear us?
Hi, good evening, board. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay, Brian?
Yep, loud and clear.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Yes. Actually, it's 6 p.m., Herman. You're good.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. We're gonna start the meeting right now. Please silence your phone so we can conduct the meeting quick and easy. I'm gonna do a call to order, roll call. Supervisors Gannon, Supervisor Correa, Supervisor Cordova, Supervisor Gosden, and myself, Herman Perez, are present. We got all five board members. Let's stand up for the pledge of allegiance, please.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now we're gonna open the floor for public comments on the agenda. We're gonna have later on another public comment for the adopted budget that we're gonna be speaking about. So anyone that wanna speak now about anything on the agenda can stand up, say your name and address, and let us know any of your concerns.
Oh, sure.
You know what I want?
Yeah. Okay, let's continue. Before we go to the staff report, I gotta bring Hector from HP Solution. He's gonna be speaking something about what's going on at the front and also stuff about the painting over here at the clubhouse. Please.
Thank you for reaching Human Solutions. We're conducting the painting project for the community. A quick update on it. We already pressure washed the whole environments on both sides. And also we pressure washed the warehouse. It's been sealed, it's being repaired. We did some major repairs to some of the foam. We replaced about 20 feet already, that they have to be fully replaced. At the top of the tower, if you guys notice, some foam that is standing up, and you can see it from the avenue. Weather permitting, that's gonna be in shade to give the actual shape of the top, strip of board as well, that is gonna be steel and paint. That's what we have. I hope everybody like the colors. You can start seeing some progress on it. Weather permitting, we will be taking tomorrow, today we couldn't. And then we're gonna move towards the guardhouse, and then we're gonna be doing the clubhouse. And at the clubhouse, we're gonna be repairing all ceilings throughout, including the one that you mentioned last time over here. That's gonna be completely repaired throughout this one, the one on the front, and the one right here. And in addition to that, you guys have 4 light fixtures at the front of the community. Some estimates that they asked for estimate, I suggest you don't need to replace the light fixtures. They're in good condition. If you guys replace all the actual glasses they have, put the same color light bulb, and then sand and paint the fixtures, you guys can save it. The labor, it will be around $1,000. $500 will be to replace all the glass. Of the 2 on the little ones at the front, the 2 at the top, sanding and painting the same color that they actually have to match everything on. We are estimating be done with the meeting within the next 3 weeks for the whole project to be completed. Another project that got completed, we did the only fence around the actual equipment. That's already been completed and everything, and the keys were supplied to Mr. Henry. And then, other than that, that's what we have at this moment. I don't know any other questions that anybody has? more than happy to listen.
So guys, I just brought them here to give them an update because we talk about the ceilings. So I just want to make sure before he comments at work, if we are repairing or we are replacing or what we're doing on those, ceilings. The one over here, that's the main one. This one, and that one, because there are different textures and some of them need repair, some of them need more work. So I want to make sure that you guys, decide what is the best course of action. He already saw them and he said that repairing is the best way to go. We don't need to replace them, but I want to bring them to you guys.
We did inspection on them. There's no need for them to be replaced. You guys will be saving money. What we'll be doing, we will be adding mud to put the whole entire ceiling even, putting new seams, and then doing texture to match the system. What we're gonna be doing corner to corner for the whole perimeter of the whole ceiling, especially on this one. Like that, when you guys come in, you will see something uniform. You will not see a patch over here, a patch over here, seams coming down, none of that. I don't see any damage that is concerning, like water damage or anything like that. Everything is running steady. We'll be reinforcing and then repair.
The repair from what we've been working towards right now, I think is the feasible option, and what's needed. I don't think we're in a place where we would need, replacement, at least not as of now. So we've already been working on a change order, to put together a revised scope. And part of that change order, what Hector is suggesting is the lights outside in the monument, this $1,500 that he just proposed. We could include that in the repairs as well, if the board is okay to move on that. 1,000, so even better, even better.
That was the only question I had.
Yeah.
Okay, but, other than that, everything is coming along. We have good comments from the actual residents that are stopping by. And anything, just let us know, an email, call, any questions at all, just let us know.
Any surprises yet? Did you come across anything that you didn't expect?
No, it was a lot of fire ants on the phone when we removed them. I mean, a lot. I never see so many, no fire ants, carpenter ants. They were actually inside the phone. Well, besides that, I would suggest the door on the tower.
Yeah, we've been,
That was approved a while ago. Just never was done.
we're working on that too. We got some updates.
And then I do not perform resurfacing, but now that the actual fountain is empty, my suggestion is if you guys resurface that, it will help with the leak that you guys have. And it will last longer because it's actually, you just paint it. We can paint it, but I can't guarantee that that will happen again. We can put some waterproof material on it, we can make it look great, but it will not last, I would say maybe 5 years the most, and then you guys will be at the same spot again. I will suggest the surface, it will be cost a little more, but it will be like 3 years.
I already asked that to the pool vendor, just to see where we are right now. If you go to the water fountain at the bottom, it's like a missing part of the plaster or something. So I think from there, you're gonna start getting more and more, damage. But that's something that Brian and the pool vendor is looking into and come back to us and let us know.
That will be the best option.
Mm-hmm. Look out for that. We're working on a resurface proposal from our vendor.
But other than that, no surprises. We also will going to be painting the metal railings with oil-based paint. We're going to be taking care for you guys the actual
Well,
the well. We're
Mm,
going to be taking care of that, and then also the little sign, like that everything match from the actual front of course of office.
uniformity.
Yeah. I put a sample of the paints on the corner, that you guys can appreciate the quality of the paint, the shine and the thickness of it. Any other questions on the windows?
We did have one follow-up, which is the trim work. So we selected two colors, which is the cream and the dark brown. around the clubhouse, the monuments as well. We're calling it the shoe. You know how there's like a different texture and then it comes the wall. That bottom section, we're considering the dark brown to be able to accent the white a little better, as well as the window trims dark brown. That way, again, the white won't kind of fade into everything. Are we okay with that?
And then also the gutters and the soffit. We mentioned also the same color, the dark brown.
Yeah, like the whole software will be dark, body will be light, and then different accents around the trim, the doors, and then the actual differential bottom of the columns to make the whole product stand out.
Okay. And we're on board with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Any questions for Hector? Hector, you're doing a great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
I
guys.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
You're good to go. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, we are going to the district engineer.
The one thing I have we looked at the pressure on the Villa Caro and to
Casabella.
Bala. That one I'm not really with. That one we got some prices, and Brian met with a couple of contractors on that one. So you have, I think, 3 different prices. The only ones that you guys met with, I didn't see anywhere where there was anything for the repair. Any consideration for the actual repair from Villa Caro. With Terry Robbins' site work, I did tell them to, said, let's figure out the worst case scenario and put a contingency in there. So that if you dig down there and that's what it is, that's gonna be the worst it's gonna be. If it's something a little bit smaller, then we go down a little bit. That way we didn't have to dig it up, say, oh, this is what's wrong, and then cover it back up and then come in here, wait for another month, 2-month board meeting to say, okay, well, this is how we need to fix it. Then they gotta dig it back up. So, and I did not see that these 2 proposals also was wrong, but you got a problem with these people, so.
Yeah.
You're kind of behind the 8 ball on that fact that, you don't want to pay twice to have them excavate the site. Well, now I'm just Carson Balka and get Casabella, I guess I'll do it a 3rd time. So when we dig down there, I think it's best if we dig down there and let's just fix it. So then that's what the Terry Roberts site work is doing on that one. On the other one, because I really don't know, and there's some TV as to what's going on that one, because we can just do this one. The other one, we couldn't just do that. We need to get out and fix it between 2 buildings. Probably be the best to get that fixed before we have to start, repairing foundations as well.
And real quick,
No, this is something for buildings. It's not repairs yet. This is something that we're working. No, because this is some emerging stuff that is happening. Your stuff is something that he's working after this.
Okay.
Yeah.
the other 2 proposals, Pete, you're saying the scope is incorrect?
I don't see where there's an actual, some sort of response for repair. And my only problem with that is, yeah, they're gonna dig down there, they're gonna, the soffit's case to find out what's going on, but there's nothing in there that says, okay, fix it. Just figure out the worst case scenario and fix that. If it's less, then we'll deal with that. But you don't, I just think it's throwing good money after bad to have somebody go in there and say, what's going on? And then put all the dirt back and then come back and say, this is how you fix it. There's only a few different ways on how you have to fix something. Let's figure out the worst thing, get the cost for that. If it's less, then we'll negotiate that out.
Sure.
And that's why I didn't care about, I didn't talk to these guys.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I saw the y'all's meeting today. I think the one on Monday, I just get it out there today.
And then obviously you're saying there will be Otero, this is more or less the price, just with contingency, just to make it and repair and done. Then the Casabella one, that's only just to
The
verify it.
flow tech. Yeah, for Tesla, they have them there, dependence of flow of fill, which is great. I mean, that should pretty much take care of any of the voids and everything, but doesn't really identify what the problem is. And it's kind of throwing a Band-Aid over it, but the Band-Aid don't come off. I mean, but it's good. I mean, it probably might be what needs to be done to fix it, but nothing really in there to say. what's going on, and let's just fix it right then. We've done down, we know what it is, let's do it.
Okay. And the one that you brought, the one that, well, the contractor, what is it, Terry Roberts, that it says about Casabella, so that one is only to investigate?
I want to, because I don't really know a whole lot of the history behind that one. I told him just give me a price there, because we have 2 manholes, just plug them, pump down, stick the TV in there, see what's going on.
Gotcha.
Then that one didn't seem like it was more of a critical issue. It looks like they've done something that's kind of stabilizing a little bit right now. It's not fixed, but it's stabilized right now. The one on Otero, that's more of an.
Correct. Yeah, and the Casabella one is stopped going down because we shut off the irrigation, because the irrigation is a pipe in there that is broken and.
If that is what's going on, then it's something, there's a big hole or crack in the
Yeah.
drainage system somewhere. I don't know where it is. And that's why I said, let's just find out where it is. That way, if we do repair, it'll be done.
Just a thought to throw out. Maybe these other 2 bidders didn't understand the scope. Would it be beneficial to kind of approve the work order with this 34,000 not to exceed, and maybe we could follow up with these other 2 to get them to revise their scope, and then.
That's entirely a board decision.
Well, what's your recommendation? Do you think, hey, do we just go with this for now and kind of solve the problem? Or is it worth maybe spending 2 days trying to follow up with these guys and try to get it?
We'll take our, looks like $28,000 total without any repairs in the flow bill. That's not bad. I haven't done any work with them, but I can't recommend them. Same with, Delanger. I haven't worked with them. They don't have any kind of repair at all in this. It's just a determination. That one, I would say you could approve the worst one and then have
Yeah.
them pick another price for the worst one, but if the 3 prices that be on the same level, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, so I think that's a good idea, what Brian was saying, just to approve to center amount, and, the higher one is 34A, and then see to fix, the Otero, because we have to fix it right away, and then they can contact Flowtech and the Learn Gear and see how much they charge to repair. If it's below that price,
Usually doing a do not to
exceed,
not
correct,
to exceed.
correct. And then on the Casabella one, we can do the same, just to investigate, to do the CCTV, the technician, up to more or less not to exceed as well.
You could do one just to include both of them.
Both of them?
30, so 40, 42, call it, 42,000. Math on it? Yeah.
So do I get a motion?
Hold on. This is 42,000, so you converted the 34 E into 42,000.
32.
And this is just the Otero.
Correct. That one, correct, and the 6,000 for Casabella.
Okay, so this is the issue that I have been bringing up for meetings. We're gonna blow another $6,000 on opening Casabella back up. For what? We just spent $6,000 3 months ago to open it up. Have you talked to Wind River? Did they provide you with the information Wind River has provided?
We are currently in communication. We haven't issued the final payment yet because we are requesting the report that was in their contract. We just followed up again this week because they submitted their invoice again, and we have not gotten a report yet.
Because based on the report that was, the information that was disclosed at these meetings is that they didn't find anything in the stormwater system, and that they were recommending pressure testing the connection there to that stormwater drain basin to make sure that its integrity is okay before closing it up. That was my understanding based on what was said, that there was no obvious leak and that they recommended pressure testing to make sure there's no small leaks. And then after that, what I know is I heard us, we decided just to cover the whole back up. And with $6,000 doing nothing.
If there was a depression in a hole that was compromising from what you were telling me, the sidewalk and the road, that dirt's going somewhere, and it's gonna be going in the storm drain. So there's something going on somewhere. Dirt don't just disappear.
Why are we including the pressure testing in here? Because right now what you're asking is for us to spend another $6,000 just to open the hole
and see what's going on again, which we did that 3 months ago and it didn't get us nowhere.
I'm recommending a course of action, which y'all did before I got here. I have no idea or what y'all did.
I understand, it's not on you, I'm just saying, in general.
If y'all could pay whatever it is to owe the people and y'all think that they'll give you a report that we can review, that would be great. I guess I think y'all paid half up front, I guess.
You paid the down payment, which was,
So if the rest of this lesson, you feel like the report will give us the answers, that'd be great. If not, then I would just wash my hands of them and just go on with someone else.
I'm not sure I understood what you suggested. What did you say? I didn't understand the suggestion.
The suggestion is that if you've already done the work and you go back in the hole, but they're withholding the final information because a bill's not been paid, well, hey, let's review the report and see what's going on. But from where I'm at, I'm
because they didn't give the
sorry, we
report.
gotta get it fixed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I'm coming in, but if you have some information that you can get by paying the previous contractor some money that's less than this, yeah, I would definitely say do that.
Yeah, because we paid 5,000 for the whole thing, but then they came back to ask for more. And that's when we say, hold on, why?
And it's like I told you, it sounds to me like they sent you a bill and they got into it and it was more than they could handle and more than they estimated. So before they give you anything, if they said they need plugs in the diaper to put them in, which I'm sure they do, that means they didn't check the storm system. Because the only way you can check it is to plug it, pump it down and send the TV in there or a person if it's big enough and see what's going on.
But that has to do with the recommendation that we got from the previous engineer to just open the whole plug and see what was going on. And I didn't agree to that, but that was what decision the board took. So how much have we paid Wind River already?
Like 3,000?
I think you paid half because there's still an outstanding check for roughly $3,000.
Yeah.
So you technically only spend 2 and some change.
I was not aware of it.
And we knew upon the district engineer's departure, we were going to plug that in because of the transition. And, they did. So the report that they're supposed to give us still didn't affect the fact that they had to come back in and do more workload. So in theory, we're basically going in a new direction with a new district engineer who's helping us oversee this with a new contractor. So you'll have to open it back up, same thing, get back into the initial project. But we just didn't want to leave it open because, the previous engineer's like, this could take several weeks and we didn't want to have a big hole open. So.
Yeah, I mean, my opinion is that this scope should include the pressure testing, and I don't see that. It says vacuum truck, CCTV, and mobilization. I don't see anything about pressure testing
Well,
anywhere.
one, if it's RCP pipe, you wouldn't pressure test it.
Excuse me?
If it's RCP pipe, you wouldn't pressure test it. And generally, you don't even do HP pipe, plastic pipe, you don't generally pressure test it. You could because it's stormwater, it's a gravity fed system. So generally you would do it. Normally you go in there for TV and then they go in there and they check all the joints and check to make sure there's no cracks or anything else in the pipes. From the information they told me, they went in there and they did not plug the pipes. They did not pump it down. They dug down and looked, they couldn't find anything. They says, oh, well, we're gonna need more money because we gotta do this, which they should have done.
Incredible, because the scope that was given to them by the previous engineer is, I don't know where the leak is, so just open it up so we can identify the leak. They opened it up, they saw no leak, so they recommend the pressure testing, but because of the CDD bureaucracy, they went around and around all these months and haven't been able to get anything done. So now I'm glad that you're here, but my suggestion is, I think that we should include that in here. I don't know if you agree with that or not, or you think this pressure test is not necessary, is that what you're telling me?
I would think that the CCTV would tell us everything we need to know.
Okay, and I believe, is that one of the sections that was CCTV before, or
No,
no?
I don't think so.
No. All right, I'm okay with it. Thank you for clarifying that.
So 42,000 not to exceed. We'll go back to the other 2 bidders just to revise their scopes with the district engineer. And, not spending too much time, maybe give them a week grace period. Then we can move forward with, at least we have
We're going to revise this quote by the other one, to what?
the other 2 that you have printout.
The other two vendors.
Yeah, the other 2 vendors, they might have not understood the scope. We weren't able to get them in contact with the engineer in time because of the expedited process. So we'll reach back out. We'll get Pete's help and he can illustrate, hey, this is what needs to be done. and then they can revise their proposal to see, maybe it comes in a little lower, or maybe it comes in a little higher, but at the very least, you got one contracted vendor that the engineer has been able to work with.
I agree with myself. You gotta remember, there's one of the companies proposed doing a global fill, which is basically a really watered down concrete that you can pour and you can grade, do stuff with it. And it's okay for patch, but you still gotta find it and you still gotta wrap it with something so the global fill don't go in there and it can wash away. So one company did do that where the local people, they didn't do it. I didn't ask them to do anything about a repair because I had no idea what's going on. And from what they were telling me, it's something to do with the irrigation, just turn it on and pump it in, which tells me to get irrigation too. But for that one, for Casabella, I would say, let's get a TV in there and see what's going on. That should tell us everything we need to know. And then the other thing you gotta remember too is that the last 50% year is kind of right. We don't know what's, you're kind of operating blind. But the best thing you can do is, on this case, I believe would be to get a TV down there and see what's going on. Most of the time, yes, you got a hole, you got to press and dig it up, because it's going to be right there. But when it seems to be migrating or there's other elements at play, like an irrigation line, yeah, you probably on the TV and spend a little extra money to make sure you know what's going on. The Terra one is the second one. That one, because of the proximity to the buildings, I told them, I didn't say CC that, let's dig it down, find out what's going on. It's gotta be straight down. Again, I'm guessing it's roots or something to do with the cleanup, which I have no idea why we put that. But it needs to be fixed. So I put it in there, figure out the worst case scenario for that one is. And once we get that up, let's get that one fixed. So this is the proximity it is to the buildings. And the one in Casabella, we can take our time on that one. We dug it up whenever they pulled it back in, whatever the problem was, it probably did like a temporary nature patch, so to speak. So it's not critical, I don't think, I know. The other one is.
No, I want both of them fixed. I mean, it's not fair to those homeowners. They've been living with a hole in front of their houses.
Then I would
over
say,
almost close to a
if you're gonna
year.
do something, I would say take the higher number and double it and improve that amount. And then you go in there and you TV that one and find out what's going on and just fix it while you're there.
I think we should have need to approve both and move forward. with-
Yeah.
That's the suggested amount.
42,000 there.
So I'm gonna suggest that we hit the 34,
Yeah.
double it.
Okay.
Let's call it even 70K, get the money out there, so we can
Okay.
do what we have to do to get them repaired, and there's nothing stopping us. Let Mr. Benjamin go back and see if we can renegotiate some of the stuff with Tech and Dillinger. But hopefully that's the worst case scenario on both of those ends, and we can fix whatever's there permanently, and get this moving along.
And also,
If we sit on this Casabella for another month, it's gonna be another month that we're gonna potentially have more issues to
More,
bring
yeah.
into rainy seasons.
and I already share with Brian and Pete, the company that fixed Casabella, that it was Dave's Beasley. So I told them just to see, they can find why what was the fix, because it was the same issue. So it dropped down the same way. So what they fixed last time, it was some bricks and they put some concrete on it and close it back up, fix the sidewalk and the street and done. So maybe it's that as well again. So, okay, so I have to, who's gonna make the motion?
I feel I get confused, more information get that. The 34.8 includes a repair.
Correct, for the BOT.
Forget about Casabella.
Correct,
We're just talking BOT.
correct.
So the 42,000 Brian suggested is for that BOT repair.
And Casabella CCTV, this,
Oh, to do
adding,
together.
correct.
Okay,
So-
you're suggesting 70 grand just in case we find a repair, and they repair it then done.
Right, if it's open, it's repaired, and we don't have to try to authorize or
Yep.
anything, we know we've got about $35,000 to repair, and again, hopefully that's what we need.
It's within your budget as well.
Yeah.
You budgeted 100,000 this year. You've only used roughly 14 of that. So this would put us in line with our budget.
And it just gets everything, and again, so it's open, we open again, it's open, we can get it repaired.
Yep.
Let's make a motion.
Give me a motion.
Just take a remember too, this is on the repairs, was all estimated on the repair, they're going to estimate it, and they're finding what's going on. And because they don't know exactly what's going on, if it's not something to do with, let's call it a POT collar, they gotta go get repair parts, so it may stay open for a day. until they get back the next morning, get to their supply house, get the stuff to actually fix. The other one, that one they should be able to open and close in a day.
And so I make a motion, not to exceed $70,000 for repairs on Casa Villa and compression built and closed, as well as, between, building and the
Okay, Corey made that motion. Second by Mark. Mark? Yeah, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Great. Do you have any other update?
Didn't have any of those, one of our other engineers, they did their inspection on the place, we didn't really look at the roads and everything real good, but he did walk the ponds, and that report should be going back to the next couple of days.
Okay, and then do you receive all the files from the previous engineer?
And they were no good. I actually contacted the, design engineer who originally designed it, and contacted him, and they're looking through their stuff, but, you know, it was before PDF, so they may have to dig through their warehouse and, or their storage facility to find the original so they can make copies. So, but they are doing that for me. I know them quite well.
Nice, Pete.
And did you get the CCTVs, that they were done to someone
And
to?
maybe I can open any of them results for it. Everything I got was basically,
We ran into the same issue. We reached back out to them. They were supposed to be following up with some not corrupted files. Me and Gio were working on that. We still haven't received anything.
and those are goals, so I got.
Files.
I'll be glad to drive with
CCTVs.
The ones that have been done, so 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're lucky, I have them.
You have
I have
the
the full files.
full files? Now if we can just get the construction drawings. and the-
Email me, and I'll send you a link to download it.
Let me make a note of that, please, Mario.
And then also, it's supposed to be a report from that. I don't know if he shared it, but yeah, we need all those files. So that's.
Yeah, the reports I don't have, I just have the images.
I have a good contact there, Ray Malave. I don't know if you've been able to contact with him, but he's kind of upper management there. He should be able to get us those
Yeah,
files.
he used to be the engineering here.
Yeah, Ray Malave is good. I'll call back up.
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Don't think you for anything else? We can hang on or not?
No, if you want to call in, Pete.
Yeah.
I don't wanna.
When I hang out till 9 o'clock, you're welcome to.
Yeah,
Well, I'll.
On the clock.
there you go.
Thank you.
Pete, thank you for all the work. Seriously, glad to have you on board.
Okay, we're going with district council.
Mr. Council.
Okay, great. Can the board hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
You hear me all right? Okay, perfect, perfect. All right, good evening, board. So I don't have anything specific to update you on tonight. We've worked on some contracts that were approved at the last board meeting and then updating your rules. The revisions to the rules that the board adopted at the public hearing in June and sent those over to Infomark. So that's what we've been doing since the last board meeting. So I don't have anything else that's come across our desk that I need to, update you on this evening. But I'm here if you have any questions for me. I did get an update too from Brian earlier in the day about the proposal that was submitted for district council services. And my understanding is that the firm that's the proposal that's this evening rescinded that proposal. So as far as our resignation, notice goes, and the reason for that was due to future time constraints, we're able to stay on for an additional 30 days until the board finds a new counsel. But I would recommend that Brian just reach out to the insurance carrier to talk to them about kind of worst case scenario if someone does not submit a proposal, what options the board has. But hopefully, got my fingers crossed that I think Brian mentioned he's going to reach out to a couple other law firms today or sometime this week. So, but we're able to stay on for an additional 30 days while you look for additional counsel.
Thank you.
Transition.
So district manager?
Yep. Bear with me. Transition. All right. So for me, the updates on the clubhouse, Hector already briefed the board. Project's been going well there. For gym door updates, so we've placed an order with Home Depot for basically like a transparent is it going to be transparent or is it
Yeah,
like?
glass door.
It is a glass door in the gym. So that is currently being made. This is the custom order. So we can expect that gym door around August timeframe. And then we've been working with PGS for installation. So more to come on that. And then the pool repairs. So a couple things on the pool repairs. You have a proposal to your right there, Arrington. This is our pool company. So as of now, we have already approved and started the repairs for the igniter. We ran into some issues during the transition. Your previous pool company, Spees, they took your Stenner pump. And basically, it was part of their program. When they came in, they put their own Stenner pump. Your original Stenner pump that should have been in good condition is nowhere to be found. We contacted Spees about this. They were supposed to get back to us. Without a Stenner pump, your pool cannot operate. So we had to approve a $2,600 new Stenner pump. So we are now, considering withholding the final payment of $2,050 from Spees for the fact that we had a walkthrough, we had a transition, the Stenner pump removal was not discussed. We were not prepared for it. They removed it and, we called them trying to get our old system back. The contractor would have installed it, but they didn't get back to us, one, in a timely manner, and two, we still haven't heard back from them on where the original Stenner pump is. We searched the entire property, couldn't find it. So you approved $2,600. You're currently in hold of $2,050 for the board's review. Whether or how we finalize that process will be up to the board and maybe recommendations from legal. So that's pool repairs. And then I'll take a pause. Kristen, do you have anything to add on that?
I would like to send an email out to them or see the course. Do you have it in email or was it telephone corresponding that you had done with the Spees?
So originally it was a
happened to
phone
them?
call, and then we followed up with an email. So I do have an email that I can send over your way.
Okay. I'd like to just reach out to them and find out what's going on, but there may be some grounds to withhold the final payment, but I would prefer if they agreed that that was the remedy, for the issue that has arisen. So I can assist with that and try to just keep it under, an hour worth of my time. But I think for the most part, Brian, you can probably lead that. It's just, we just need an acknowledgement from them that that was done and that they're okay. They don't have an objection with us withholding the final payment.
Okay. I will send out that email. In addition to the Stenner pump, you now have, we also had a motor that, shot out on us. Your previous pool company actually helped us with the warranty. So we got the new motor installed. The current vendor installed it at no charge to the district. They also did some additional leak repairs in there. But I don't know if you noticed, there's some caution tape around the spa. So there is some drainage things that you are considering right now, as well as your emergency button. Whoever installed that did some faulty electrical work there. And, we basically have to replace the entire unit. So do you guys know what I'm talking about? There's a big pole in there with a big red button, a speaker. So the 1,900 is for that unit. And then the additional 4,000 is to basically rip up a section of the pavers, fix the leak, and basically repair that entire area. This may go down. This is kind of like the idea of a not to exceed, because they don't know what they're going to get into until they dig it up. So this price may go down a couple $100, but nonetheless, it is a critical item that I think the board needs to consider. Open up for comments.
Yeah, that was something that we already discussed before. I think a proposal came out higher than that for the leak.
I'm wondering, could we utilize PGS to remove the bricks and reinstall the bricks up there for us?
I don't,
Could we coordinate with PGS and having, leave this channel open to bricks, have them remove them, and then when we've done, have you just reinstall them. It's labor we're paying for anyway. May reduce the cost on this. Really, all they gotta do is dig up underneath it, repair the pipe, and then, we'll have PGS come back in and level the sand and all that stuff for back together.
It's not a bad suggestion. I would just throw this back at the board for consideration. From my experience and my understanding with this scope of work, it's a bit complex. I wouldn't want to cause more problems to potentially save a couple $100. Even though I know the dollar amount is a little higher, I definitely appreciate where you're coming from. I just think with work like this, it's unfortunately, we're kind of tied to the circumstance. And I would recommend having the vendor just finalize the project, but I'm open to the board's options.
Going on that, then what it can happen is if they fix it, PGS take it out, they fix it, and then PGS go back in, and for some reason they put it too tight or something and break the pipe again, then it's not under warranty. So that's what I'm afraid of, that then it's not gonna be under warranty.
I
And
don't think that's gonna save us much money anyway. But you said Arrington's our rental company now?
So Resort Pool Services, they obviously manage your pool, and then their contractor who does the pool resurfacing, all their major repairs is their partner Arlington. So, yeah.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
Because the only reason we picked this company is they said they did everything.
This is,
I've been getting another company involved, and I mean, I don't know, it is what it is, man, but this is the problem we had with the previous pool company before California. The monthly maintenance is cheap, but then there's constant repairs, and it makes no sense to me, why the same things keep breaking again. And I just feel that that's how these companies make money. You understand? Because the motor blew because, remember when you switch companies, I told you to make sure that you inspect everything with the company during the transition. You said everything was fine. Not even a week later, supposedly, that motor blows.
that motor blew.
But why? It's a brand new motor. It was put in there just months before.
because of the leak of the.
Exactly. This means that the people that are doing the maintenance are not doing their job. That's my point.
Well,
Because if there's a leak and you should turn all the circuit breakers on so nobody accidentally turns on the spot. And that wasn't done, so the pump ran dry, blew the motor. It's common sense. And that's the problem that I have with most of our vendors. A lot of common sense is missing, and it's costing the district a ton of money.
Sure.
Because unnecessarily.
But this right here is something that we have never worked on.
No.
Oh, you're talking
I'm
about
not saying that.
general.
I'm speaking generalities. right?
Got you, yeah.
And we knew, so
Yeah.
again, right, we paid a leak detector to tell us that there's a leak
Yeah.
there. This was approved to be done by California months ago, and it just never got done.
Correct.
You understand? So this is my point, is that time and money is a problem.
Yeah.
And we need to try to do something about that, because I'm tired of repairing the same things over and over.
no,
I'm
that's,
okay with doing it, because we don't have a choice. It slows down and just.
And then, but this is a company, but this is going under resource pool, right?
correct. I mean.
Do the agreement is
So-
resource pool or?
Let me clarify a couple of things. So Arrington is associated with Resort Pool Services. They're one of two. And Simon, who is our pool vendor with Resort Pool Services, this is just a different division within his branch, right? This guy specifically does the maintenance stuff, like these kinds of big repairs. It's not that you're paying for a new company. He's not in a way, yes, subcontracting,
Yes.
but this, because I've worked with Simon on multiple projects, this is just his expert on when it comes to the pool resurfacing. And then the original transition, the leak was detected. They pointed it out. And your original vendor did state, hey, we originally proposed this. It just never went anywhere. So what, the leak detection?
That you found that during the inspection. We didn't hear about that.
So we found it during the transition. It was discussed that they were going to come in and start running the pumps, get everything up to speed. It was something that they were, going to be able to repair. Here's what happened. Your system, and Herman even pointed it out today, like the way that the jets are running right now, your system wasn't running to the specs that it's supposed to. So basically now your vendor has gotten your system up to speed, has made the repairs that it needs. We did a whole repiping of a section of the leak. And, you know, now that it's operating as it should, they're starting to run into things that just were neglected, which one, case in point is your filters. Your filters weren't being cleaned properly. So now when your system's running with all this, you know, new pressure, new pump, you're going to start to see some holes that you have to fill.
And we hear the same story. And I'm sorry, Brian, but that's the truth. We hear the same story. When we switch vendors, everything starts all over again with the same thing.
Sure.
Filters were damaged and it wasn't maintained properly. I tell you, I micromanaged that maintenance for about 2 to 3 months. And I know they were cleaning the filters. And yes, the circulation of the pool was the problem, but no one figured this out for years. You understand? And we figured it out. And it just took forever to get it fixed. And I'm glad that it got fixed. But, you know, I just think that you need to hold the maintenance company accountable.
Yep.
They're new to me, so I'm really pissed off that all this is happening with them. They're just here, what, a month or 2, 3 months maybe? And now they've already made almost 10 grand in repairs that they're suggesting that we need. And it's sad, man, it's sad.
Well, you just said that there was some of these things that were approved, but they just were never done. So I think, unfortunately, we're just coming up to, we're completing them. But, you know, the impression I totally get, Mario, I know where you're coming from, but I trust Simon with my whole business reputation. This guy knows what he's doing. We're getting our pool up to speed. The pool looks great. We've received compliments. I believe that they're going to put us in a place under maintenance. This is just the front load. And unfortunately, it does.
I just think that when you look at the base assessments on your homeowners, and I'm a homeowner too, so it does bother me that the fact that we waste so much money in this organization.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
That's my take.
So we're doing those at the bottom, or?
I believe you're going to be considering those here. I don't know if they're, let me check the agenda real quick. Here.
So I think it was-
No, it would be here, yeah.
Yeah.
So the board would be considering.
So can I get a motion to approve the Arlington spa repair for 5,900?
I'll second it.
No, well, yeah.
Oh, you want me to make the motion or you make? the
Yeah,
motion?
I'm requesting the motion.
Okay, I make a motion to approve Arlington, company to make a repair not to exceed $5,900 on the spot.
Okay.
I made the motion. Can I get a second? I second the motion.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed? Opposed?
He doesn't want to vote, he says.
You
No,
need to,
you need to vote.
yeah, you need to.
Okay,
No.
3-2.
3-2.
So at least we need to make sure that that's get fixed as soon as possible.
Yep.
And to make it, you know, working again and make sure, like Mario was saying, make sure that the vendor is held to the standard all the way, you know.
Yeah, I'll have a conversation. Okay.
Quick question, point of order.
Well, we have to, that's what I was asking. So this is going on their resource pool, or do we have to do a new agreement?
We do not, well, we're going to put together
An agreement.
yeah, a service
But
agreement.
that, we already have. that.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that shouldn't take long.
No,
So that should be done
next 2 weeks.
in the next 2 weeks, so. But I gotta start pushing that. Okay, so now we're going to the community update.
Oh, I'm so sorry, the
Oh,
HOA.
the HOA.
The HOA.
Yeah.
Real quick, board, just under my section, we did receive a consideration for a cost share from the HOA for the on-site personnel to help us manage the amenities. They would be helping us oversee the amenity cards and the gate stickers. That way residents could actually come and pick it up in office 1 day a week for a $125 per week. And if the board approves this, we'll work with council on putting together a formal agreement.
What I see here, it says HOA service, but I didn't see the rental. So I think it had to be put up in there. From number 3.
HOA in exchange for the assistance with gate access. I believe that's the 125 is based off of that.
Okay.
And
So
again,
they're doing
When
only
you
the
say
gate.
numbers are wrong.
So they're
There's no
doing
number
only the
4.
gate.
they're doing the gate and the amenity cards.
Yes.
And we'll put together our own agreement
Okay.
on like what they're gonna be
So
doing.
that's what I'm saying. So the HOA service, then it had to be assistant with the gate access control and rental.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Nah, yeah. Rentals and amenity cards.
Yeah, because,
Yeah.
here it's only gate access.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. 125 per week.
What do we think? We excited?
Not exciting, but it's a necessity. Not everybody has the ability to go online and do everything themselves, so I think we need to try it at least short term and then see how it works out.
And then can I just interject for a second there? Brian, was this a handout to the board?
It was, Kristen, yes. I'll be able to send you
Okay.
this after.
Oh, okay, I appreciate that. Thank you. And then I would recommend, just because it wasn't part of the published agenda, that if the board wants to move forward with it, you go ahead and approve this and, substantial final form subject to an agreement being drafted up, and then we'll put the agreement on the next agenda. That way, if
Mhm.
any residents have comments, they can make them on this particular agreement that's being proposed with the HOA.
That's good. On agreement.
Why can't we just agree to authorize the chairman to sign it once a year?
No, I think she
No,
said
she
that we
could.
can work, but then on the next agenda, just to bring it so it's public, so that
Right.
everybody, yeah.
Yeah, so members could comment on it.
So,
There's also no number 4 on here, it goes from 3 to 5.
Nice.
okay. We do.
And, take it with a grain of salt. The main thing to look out here is the charge, and then we're gonna put together our scope of what they're gonna be working on, yeah.
All right, I'll make a motion to consider the $125 a week for limited management by the HOA management company.
All right.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Mark seconds. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries by 0.
All right. Bear with me, HOA agreement approved. Approved. Taking some notes here. Next agenda. Okay.
So I'm gonna ask for a motion just to move because we got the people, since we have so much stuff again.
Public hearing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, guys, can I get a motion just to move the public hearing, now, since we have the community here, so they don't have to wait until the end? Can I get a motion for that?
I'll make,
Ariel?
Have your motion second by?
I'll second.
Second by Corey. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, now, gonna open the floor for the public. We're gonna be discussing the adopted budget 2026. Anyone that have any comments on the adopted budget can come up, say your name and address, and we're here to listen.
We need a motion of the hearing.
That was a motion? Yeah, to open the
Another,
public hearing, yes.
okay.
So motion of the public hearing for fiscal year 25-26.
All right.
Second by Correa. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? None. Okay, now the public, comments are open.
Open public hearing.
Please, let's answer the question.
Yes.
Answer the question. Lisa Sanchez.
And just, I recommend that you state your name and address for the record, please.
Yeah, she said it, and because she's far away.
My question is, rumor has it that the CDD is going up, so I'd like to know by how much and why. I mean, everyone here has the same question. I think that's why we're here. We want to know, why is there going to be an increase in our CDD fee?
Mhm.
Because our CDD is so poorly contained and run, and what's the need for the fee and how much is it going to?
Yeah, I think the mail was sent out, but yeah, that's something that we're gonna be discussing and why the increase, what is needed and all that. Let's see.
Did you get the memo that we sent out on why we were increasing? Did you see that one by chance? You didn't? That's okay. Yeah, basically, in that email, we kind of highlight on what the CDD's been working on, the projects, the clubhouse enhancement being one. We're working on the docks to repair some of those. There's some resurfacing of the basketball courts, obviously the storm systems, but also highlights what the board intends to do in the following fiscal year, which we could get into a little bit later. Yeah.
So how much would the increase be in
305, I think it is.
per year?
For the year.
No, just for the year, just for the, yeah,
When does that take?
the following year.
Correct. The end of September 30th. So October 1st, officially, we start a new cycle.
Okay, so it's 65 next year, not us. Basically, right?
Correct, yep.
Fiscal year.
We can take a step in 2026.
Let's take a step back, Brian. Can you give us a high level summary when our fiscal year goes to runs? I know it doesn't follow a normal fiscal year for us. And give us the highlights of what was proposed. And then kind of like high level, 2 or 3 minutes, just to kind of get everyone on the same page, because we'll answer some of those questions right off the bat.
Sure.
And then we can get a little.
Thank you.
The fiscal year, no matter, the fiscal year is not the same as the next. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter when the fiscal year begins or ends. When's it my turn?
Roughly around December, January.
Fine, help us understand where this all comes into it.
Well, taxes here are paid arrears, right? So November is due for taxes starting January. So the change today would not have to be paid until
2026.
I don't believe so. And Kristen, can you highlight for me? So the adopted budget, when it goes into the tax roll with the proposed increases, it would be collected in the upcoming tax roll, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And I can quickly
So-
look to, on your trim notice with your property taxes, so that it's on the same, the tax collector collects the assessment for the CDD. So it's basically on your tax bill, and you can look that up on the Osceola County Property Appraiser's website. And if you go to the tax collector for Osceola County, you can type in your address there, and you can see the trim notices, which is basically your tax bill every year, and you'll see the CDD assessment is included on there too. And so what the CDD is considering tonight is an increase in your operation and maintenance assessment. This does not influence your debt assessment, which is basically the CDD bond work, which you pay a portion of, depending on what area of the community you live in. That varies, the amount of that. And you can see it if you have the agenda handy. You can go to the CDD's website too, which is, I believe, pillisolcdd.org. Okay, and it's page 65 of the agenda, and they did a good job of showing the comparison between 2024, 2025, and then this upcoming fiscal year. So the fiscal year just for the CDD runs from October 1st through September. So a little bit different than just an annual year that we talk about just start January. But you can see there, if you can see the comparison that they've broken down. If you live in a townhome, the proposed increase that they're considering this evening, I believe, is $204. If it's a single family, it's $305. That's the increase. And like Brian mentioned before, it's for anticipated repairs. The community is older. There's capital repairs that the board is considering. Some of the major ones include the repaying and trying to deal with some of the repairs for the sinkhole issues that have been reported to the CDD. And that's separate and aside from just general information of services. And you've heard earlier today the pool repairs, etc. So some of it's just aging infrastructure, and the cost to repair these things have gone up. So it's not untypical that we do see these types of increases from CDDs. The past few years, actually, we've seen increases across the board. So
Thank you.
To answer your question, I looked it up and it says that the increase will take effect the following year,
2026.
2026, because the taxes here are paid arrears. the trim notice for 2025 is already done. We cannot amend that. So you're gonna hear about it at the end of this year because they're gonna send the trim notice for 2026. But the increase is gonna be in 2026, and you won't have to pay it until, it's not due till November 1st of 20.
I will take the question. When was the last time that we had a CDD increase?
2020.
2020. Okay. So we're voting for the increase tonight. Is that what's taking place tonight?
Yes.
Okay. And that was suggested because we don't have enough funds in the CDD for the proposed repairs?
No, we have to maintain. So right now we have a reserve fund that we have to keep it to be in emergency, to 300,000, to have it every day, every year, like we always have.
How much would we be short of it if we don't approve the $300 increase?
Well, that's combined with that. I'm not sure how much, I know we have the 300, but if we keep going, if we keep decreasing. And then obviously we don't have the money to do all the repairs that we have to do on the underpipes. It's been many years that it's left like that. So we're trying to make a project plan of at least 100 to 150,000 every year to fix the piping to make sure this street doesn't cave in.
And that vote is voted against the members and
Yeah.
not against these, so we don't have a say in the vote.
Well, no, you have, because you are saying, and we are listening, and some of us can change and say no. And also is
The vote is based on the members.
correct. So, correct. Yeah, on this case, CDDs are like that. HOA is different. HOA is homeowners. Yeah.
And I'd like to add to this, that this is the maximum
Correct.
that we can, we sat down and did all the numbers, right, said, well, we could do what we had to do. Based on those numbers, what would the maximum be? And that's what we push out to you guys as a membership. Say this is the maximum. You can't go above that maximum. Doesn't mean we can come
That,
lower, right? So we could have said tonight, we're only going to increase it $50. We could increase it no dollars. We could increase it the maximum. So that's where your input comes in, and that's what we're going to have to.
I don't know, you remember last year that it was a letter of 900 and something? So, yeah, we said the maximum because that was done by management to tell us that's what we need to be optimized to the best to do everything that we wanted. But obviously, we didn't increase it. We put zero because we start with,
But you did the year before, because I did pay 900.
no, we didn't do it. No, nothing. That's yeah. A CDD has not increased for the 5 years. Yeah.
So I just want to say for the record that I have been living here for over 7 years. And I live, and I say this loud and for the record, 2925 CSW Drive. I have had my parking taken away from in front of my home. My home is, my street is larger and wider than many of the streets in the entire community. I have been coming to about maybe 4 to 5 meetings a year.
Yeah.
And I have been asking the CDD for repairs and enhancement on my street. And again, I live on 2925 CSW Drive. The last phase of Villasco that was built, where homes were a lot more than many of the homes recently built. There was a builder there, and I have a cul-de-sac there, which has essentially turned into a dog park. I've asked for a sign. I've offered to make the sign. I've offered to pay the sign. I've offered to install the sign. I've asked for enhancement on that street where we have dead grass, dead trees, and I'm looking at a waste dump in front of my house. So now I've been living here for over 7 years. And now I have to pay $300 more to fix something that I don't know how many people have been complaining about a dock or the use of a dock. And if they have, I apologize, but I don't use the dock. Or anything else that needs to be repaired. If something needs to be repaired underground, I'm not an engineer, I wouldn't know, and I can't go against that if it's for the safety of my community. But what does it take for us as community members, as homeowners, and someone please correct me or speak on behalf? It seems that we come here and we ask and we suggest. There was a gentleman here that came with a proposal for each and every one of you for parking on his townhouse street. And none of our suggestions take into consideration. But now this new rise in fees for something again, because all I heard was stop, the rest of the stuff I didn't even hear. Since I've been living here, I haven't heard anyone mention any necessity of needing a dock back there. Yet something that would cost a couple of $100, where I live, and only because there are probably what, seven homes that face, because it's a dump right now. It's what it is. In the summertime, you can't sit in front of your house. It smells like urine, it smells like dog, and I especially know for the neighbors that come all the way down the street and use our little grassy area that no one from the CDD maintains. This will probably be my last meeting here. I have to move from the community because I can't park in front of my home. And the parking that is accessible to me, the neighbors in front of their houses, they park. Now, I've already been assessed by an attorney and said I can go against the CDD and I can show proof that we do need that parking in the street because the builder builds houses that are 6-bedroom plus homes on my street. And we don't even have sufficient parking. We've never had an incident. I've come here to speak about it. I know it's all topic. When I'm supposed to pay more money for something that I don't look at, I don't use, I don't know, I've never had anyone say, please fix that dock. I need access to that dock. I need to use the dock. The dock is causing me issues. And yet I've been here year after year after year asking, can somebody at least clean up the part of the street? Why? Because it's not in the front of the community? Because it's not what something everyone has to face or has to. I just want to know if you won't hear me again. Yeah. This is beyond. This is beyond. It's like a slap in the face of it. And now we're gonna face, I don't even know where the dock is. And maybe some people need it. Maybe it is important to the community.
So going way based on what you said, you came here to the meeting when we had the public meeting, right? For the rules of the parking, right? The parking was instructed by the fire department and by the engineering that it had to be done because the curve, and they draw everything. And I explained to you that if you want all those images and report from the fire department and the engineering to request it to the management company, because that what happened. You mentioned the gentleman that came here about the parking on Via Palma. Yes, the board was able to open some of the areas, but they have to close down another ones that they want to open because the engineering and the fire department says no vehicles can be there because the trucks cannot turn if vehicles are parked there. We didn't take any parking because we wanted to. We're doing it based on the recommendation of the fire department and the engineering.
How long has Petersburg been in existence? Like, when did this community open? I remember studying here in 2003, 2004, 5, before there was a pool, before there was a clubhouse. I used to sell houses here. And I can think back as far as 2004, 2005. Am I wrong? Am I right?
Yeah. But you're gonna say that nothing happened. Yeah,
but. I'm gonna say that, you say that street was built because I have homes, there are 2 homes on my street that were built in the community was built. And the fire department didn't have an issue. There's never been any question has arisen by that street, except for recently, the past 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, we requested it because of that, because they're narrow, and we requested it, and that's what they came back. That's what.
You requested what?
The information to the engineering, because that's one of the plans that we're looking at the streets, because every time a car was there, multiple cars, it was hard to turn in there for the emergency vehicles.
We've never had an incident.
But that
was never been able to.
Okay, but we cannot wait for something to happen.
Why wasn't the issue risen before? Because that street has been here since.
But that's the thing, we were not part of the board. We are new after.
So
yeah.
it was the board.
And we also don't know that the county's code could have also changed. The county's code could have also changed, but as an effort to avoid liability and risk to the CDD, which would translate to liability to all the residents if they had to pay a judgment, et cetera. So the board had directed engineer to reach out to the fire department in Osceola County. They did a review of the roadways there and made that recommendation. So it's taking that recommendation.
And also going with that, about your issues in there, we have never heard of the issue that you've been having of the signage or whatever you are requesting. that's something that if it comes to this board, that we need to do something on that end, that's different because he's the one that put it on the agenda, so we can then come in here and discuss it. So I will advise you to please email Brian Mendez, that he's the district manager of the CDD, so then he can bring proposals, bring whatever we need to make a decision to see what we can make better that area.
Thank
Do
you.
we need,
I just want to add one thing to that, and any trash or smell that you're talking about, the landscaper's responsibility is to keep that area clean. So if it's not happening, we need to report it to Brian, because they're supposed to.
It's not a dog park. I mean, we can stop people from walking their dogs, so I get that. But it's, for many people, they think that it is. I mean, if someone comes on and you're not gonna stop your dog from going there. But when
You
you're
okay with me jumping in?
you're coming all the way down the road, because you think that's a dog park, it's not a dog park, it's not a place for you.
Ma'am,
especially when you're-
We appreciate this comments. We do have to move the meeting and be courteous to everybody else. Just for the record, you do get 3 minutes to be able to, state any suggestions that you have to the board. Let's try to maintain quorum, please, so we could get through this adopted budget. Ma'am, it looks like you have,
Yeah, I'm gonna be very short.
just need your name and address.
Virginia Patterson, 2979 Marbella Drive, and 3147 via Terrace Drive. The whole property. I am so, I don't know the word to use, because both of my properties are in trouble right now. Structural problems. It's not that you don't know, husband, because I saw you on my camera walking around my house. Thank you very much with the engineer. But I would hope that you guys would consider fixing my property first before you fix it up. I am willing to pay the $300, but I need my structural problems fixed to my house. I've been in this community 17 years. I would appreciate it if I could get the respect of getting my property fixed.
and going on that, and I went to your house because I know your issue's been years, more than what we've been on the board. And I went there with the engineering to make sure the pipe and whatever, that's what he's looking for the diagrams of all the, how do you call that, the stormwater, because I think one of them goes through your house. So that's what he's looking into, so then he can create the scope of work, so then they can send someone there. But like I told you, I went with him because I know you've been waiting a long time to get that looked at to see if it's yeah.
But I mean, I need those things corrected, fixed, because I've been here from the beginning of time.
I know.
Good point.
Ms. Patterson, keep in mind that this board is committed to fixing everything for everybody, including yours, because it has to go. But the issue that you heard me talk during the meeting, CDD business is very slow to transact. A lot of players involved, and I feel like sometimes we're chasing our tail to try to get things done.
Appreciate that. I'm not taking that lightly. I'm just saying, I do not want to come down here in the darkest pit.
No.
For my two critical issues. Done in the
That's right. Good point.
But the issue is not money when it comes to your issue. The issue is the logistics of getting the approval of the state to get it done.
Just asking you to get it fixed, because I'm not an engineer, I'm a telecommunications engineer, but not, structural.
No, it's like he was saying, sometimes we can do painting, we can do this because they're easy to approve and done. But yeah, your case is on his hands. As soon as he creates a scope of work, he start finding proposals to get that fixed.
And
And
I'm gonna tell you, I do not mind spending that $300, but I need some kind of priority to make sure that my two pieces of properties, get some kind of, looking at and, some kind of timeline and getting it.
yeah, because yours is 37 Biotero, the one with the hole that we just approved. Yeah.
I'll take all the comments.
Next, Victor.
Victor Burrow, 291 Casablanca Drive. My question is concerning the reason letter that was sent out, $1,800 plus for individual homes.
I would suspect that that does not include payment on the bond.
No.
What is the exact payment on the bond that each household pays?
It varies from home to home, sir. There are townhomes and two different categories of single-family homes. Both of those, the 1,800 that you stated is your operation and maintenance expenditure. And then you take into consideration your debt service at 472 as well. The proposal is to take the 1817 to 2,122 for the year. And the increases we'll be able to talk about a little more as we go through the budget, but I want everybody to know in this room that one of the big reasons why we're having an increase is you were assessed for an RFP of storm damages for $450,000, and we didn't even get through all of the storm repairs. So a big portion of that, to the residents' point, is the storm repairs, in addition to some of, the other items that you obviously have to maintain.
Yeah, the $1,800 said that not include payment, the repayment of the bond.
Yeah, like if you get the,
Is I'm paying 2,500 plus.
The debt service?
That's the difference.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yes. Payment.
like right now, I think yours is like me, right? 2390 on the taxes, you see it, the CDD. So you remove the 18 something, that's like 515 on bonds that we pay. Pretty much every year.
This is what you're looking at there. I don't know if everybody can see it, but this would be your debt service, the 472, that stays consistent. And then this is your current year, 1,817. This is what we propose in the next year. So
Yeah, it's 472, the bond payment.
that's your bond payment. Yes, sir. That's your bond payment. Yes, sir. The fixed rate. And you,
Oh, sorry. Why didn't, this was there, included in everything, rather than 1,800, we get 2,200. This overpayment, that is with the 27.
what do you mean it wasn't included in the mailed assessment that you received? Yeah, so this exact diagram is part of that adopted budget that we sent out to the community, the proposed budget. So this section is on page 7 of that document. If you want to take another quick glance, this is kind of what it looks like. I'm not sure if you could see it from here.
Oh, what you're saying on the letter, you wanted the total of the whole thing.
Because if everybody look at their tax bill,
Gotcha,
there is a totally different number.
gotcha. Yeah, correct. Because it's showing you, only the maintenance portion instead of showing you what is going to be the whole total amount, including the debt service. Yeah.
He's referring to the memo.
No, the memo that he.
The memo that went out. So the memo in the front page, we kind of highlight, there's a difference between debt service and operation and maintenance expenditures. The reason that we didn't put in the memo, the email blast, the debt service is because that's a fixed rate that won't change, right? So the only thing that we're really discussing is the operation and maintenance expenditures that is proposed to increase for $300. But your fixed rate will always be that, unless, the board refinance for some opportunity, which is a whole nother case, but yeah. Any other questions from the public on adopted budgets, proposed budgets?
Can I get a motion to close the public comments?
Motion to close public.
A second? Second by correct.
All right, motion.
All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carried.
All right.
So,
All right. So, board, let's go ahead and take a look at our current budget. Nothing's changed since the proposed. I'll go line item by line item for this exercise. So we'll jump into, let's see, first line item, we have line 26 for supervisor fees. Currently this year you had budgeted, bear with me, 9,000. I would assume that prior to this administration, you were probably meeting every other month or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so right now we have monthly meetings, basically off of the stipend. This is the dollar amount there, so just bringing you up to budget. Obviously, this is just a budgeted amount. If you cancel a meeting, you save a couple bucks here. Line 28, administrative services. Okay, so we discussed this. If you look at line 36, district management fees, you have a decrease of $30,000. The reason why GMS had everything under the district management portion, Rosetta splits it out in between financing, admin, DM, so on and so forth. And this is the same contracted amount. You have no increases from Rosetta that haven't already been considered. Continuing going down, your auditing services, you're saving $3,600 there, bringing you up to your contracted amount. Legal advertising, we do have a additional $1,500 just to bring you up to what you're currently trending to. Let's see here. Telephone and cable, that is most likely going to be able to be cut. I am working with your chair on potentially doing away with the Spectrum contract, and I believe that could be administered through the HOA. So we'll be working on that. But since that hasn't been finalized, I would recommend keeping it for now. Going on, flipping the page. You have in line 59, garbage and recreational facility, a credit to this administration. You did a fantastic job at procuring a new contract for this service. It's saving you $4,500 for the year. Thank you for that. Your utility services, proposing a $2,000 increase there year over year, just bringing you up to par. I know that we have had some discussions on landscape enhancements, which also will require water in the future. Again, a preventative maintenance there. We were able to save in line 63, $2,500 on your pond maintenance bid. Pond maintenance bid is in progress. I think we had a issue in the transition where the previous vendor maybe got out a little earlier. There was some weeds in the back that were a little high. Myself and your chair have been working with the vendor on that. They came out, sprayed it last week, did a pretty extensive job, and we're going to be monitoring that area. We do have in our contract a free callback service for the month. So if we need them to come back out in 2 weeks, do a little spraying, we could enact that. But able to save $2,500 there. Maintenance, repairs, and pipe inlet structure. So this is a line item that you have set aside for your storm repairs. Just taking into account a percentage increase, due to the information that we've learned, there's several storm repairs that we need to do. Going to be prioritizing this in the next fiscal year. Your entry wall maintenance is leaving your budget, so you're saving $1,000 there. $4,000 on holiday decorations you're saving, bringing that number down as well. Landscape inspection services. This was a line, I believe, that you were accounting for GMS's field operation. Mm-hmm. This number was to take into account the HOA agreement as well as if we wanted a landscape architect services in the future, once we start doing some enhancement projects. Landscape maintenance, we took you up 10,000. I believe this is per your contract.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your contract is being renewed, coming up on that 70,000. I do have your scope. Bear with me here. I'll look into this. Yeah, so landscape. So your contract is up in November 30th. You're actually contract for this next fiscal year, 66,000. I think we had discussed potentially getting bids for these services in the future. So this is just a preventative maintenance. If we get a new contractor, there's potential for this to go up. And again, your contract does expire on November 30th of 2025. So you'll have to renew, and don't know if they're going to renew at the same rates or if they're going to ask for an increase. Continuing on, landscape irrigation, again, like we touched, just getting you guys up to par there. Budgeting for any enhancements that we're going to be working on next year for landscape enhancement projects. Turning the page, roadway repair and maintenance, line 76. So this is a pretty fun topic. I know the board has expressed interest in speed humps. I just completed a project in Davenport for 28 speed humps. The project cost roughly around $32,000. They got 28 throughout their subdivisions. The grade I could go to more in detail, but I believe this line item is for, roadway repairs and most likely eat a little bit of this chunk of speed humps in the future. Saving you some costs on line 78, 2,250 there. Clubhouse janitorial. This is a line that you had, I think, mixed into something else. So we're just spreading out your contract there. But this is what our janitorial services cost. Saving you $1,000 on the office supplies. You are saving, well, you're not saving, but you're offsetting your line 87 and 88 because now your pool contractor has its own chemicals. And then we cut out 4,100 of your telephone internet cable, basically put it up top. And then the miscellaneous contingency and capital outlay stay the same. Any questions on the general funds? Hearing none, jump into the reserves, flip the page. All right. So right now, let's talk about your current surplus. So year over year, as it stands, in your general fund, you started the year with $449,000 that's carrying over year in your general fund, and in your reserve, 196,000. So you're carrying over a surplus of roughly 640,000. Obviously, this is great, taking into consideration that we do have a ton of storm repairs. So what are we doing? In order to limit increases to our residents, we are trying to utilize our reserve funding in addition to our surplus in order to prioritize these repairs and offset some of these costs. Last year, you carried over, I believe, 170,000. This year, we're proposing to carry over 150,000, so $20,000 less. Eventually, the goal would be to continue to carry over that 300,000 until your storm repairs are satisfied. And at that point, you could probably start bringing down your reserves a little bit. But again, as an effort to maintain increases, you're carrying over 150,000, which would definitely offset a good substantial amount of increase to the residents from your surplus in order to cure these storm damages. Any questions on that logistics?
No.
Okay.
Did you finish on that?
Yep, that's it. That's all I got.
So, like what we spoke before, so this increase, right, if it happened, we're gonna be stable for a few years without any increase unless something big happen.
Yeah.
Because that's my goal, is just this has to be at least 3 to 5 year, like if we increase, it has to be at least 3 years with nothing, no increase, because that's what we're trying to do, is putting money on the reserve, use whatever we need, then the next year come up, then we fill up again the accounts. But we don't have to be increasing every single year. That's my plan, that it cannot be increasing every single year.
Here's what I want to kind of like say. If I want to raise payment, it will be like for good and leave us at home for 5 years. That's it. I understand that what's going on in the government, everything, inflation, and all the services are getting expensive, and we try to keep up, but I'm talking on behalf of them as well, because I'm homeowner.
No, thank you. I'll take all the comments and then I can respond to any other comments. comments from our 3 other board members?
So I have a quick question. So what happens if, God forbid, there's an act of God and a major part of the district's property gets destroyed? What happens then? What, and we don't have the money to replace it? What happens then?
So you're, in this scenario, you're saying that you have extended all your resources, including your reserves, including your surplus, and you're still out of money? You would most likely have to do a special assessment to cover the
So
difference.
CDD can do a special assessment.
I don't know the regulations, but Kristen, I do believe that we could do a special assessment in this event.
Yes, you could. You could impose a special assessment. There's a procedure that you have to follow for that. I think there's some administrative costs too. But you can do a special assessment. You could go to a bank and get a loan as well, you could potentially issue another bond. Knock on wood, hopefully we never have to cross that bridge. But that's why you do see a lot of CDDs that are older. And this, I looked at, the CDD was established in 2001. So you've got capital improvements that are just need attention, basically need repairs. So we do see, sometimes CDDs issue new bonds to pay for the cost and amortize it over a 30-year period. But there's costs associated with that too. You could go get a loan, those types of things. But I think the intent here was to try to increase the assessments to cover these anticipated repairs in the future and to avoid a bigger issue, if the board decided to do nothing.
That's it.
Mark? No?
Do you want me to make any closing statements, or you guys?
I'll just put out there, I know we've done, the board has done a lot trying to control costs. We're doing well. We have improvements we need to make. Some changes to bring some of that. My concern overall is we're not getting this money. We're seeing when we put a project up for bid this year, we have no hits, no bites. From any of these companies going out there to try to do our stormwater repair, we're competing with Florida Department of Transportation. We're competing with all these other developers who are out there doing the same thing. And not saying I'm for an increase, but I think we have to realize that we need a little bit more money now so that we can put a larger sum forward and really start getting at these repairs. Because we can't dwindle it down so far that it's 2 or 3 repairs. No one's interested. And no one's going to buy that. We kind of saw that with the 30 or 40 repairs that we had. But I think we need to balance that in between. We need a full increase. I think we need something so that we can go big with that project and really take a bite out of that stormwater project before it becomes a major issue.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Can I make a
Mark,
comment?
please.
Okay. I guess it's because I have a different perspective on this. Because I was here and was on the board when they raised the rates in 2020. And that was intended to do the storm drains. Now, almost immediately, the money started going every which way. It was used to fix the huge drainage problem with the entrance, where they had to go in and reline the pipe and all that stuff, which I've noticed is beginning to sink again. Yeah. I feel like here I am, and this is the same thing. Storm drains, storm drains, storm drains.
Mhm.
And Lori's making a good point. You can't get people's attention unless you wave a large amount of money in their face. And sometimes even that doesn't work. I don't want to see us waste anything. But I also don't want to see us do something that cripples people living. This amount of money, $5 for a single family home. For me, okay, I can do that. It's not a problem. But for somebody else, they may look at that and say, well, there goes my car payment.
Mhm.
There goes my vacation, because I need so much money to take the family and, well, hotel rooms. Well, that was gas. So we gotta be sure that we are doing the right thing. I thought I was 5 years ago. Now, I wish I could get 5 years ago me and grab him by the scruff of the neck and shake him around a little bit. Say, wait. So that's just the thinking that I have. I want you to know what I'm thinking. Okay?
Thank you.
Just open a can of worms for you.
Yeah. that's
So
fine.
I empathize with what you're saying. I empathize with our residents, specifically our homeowners, because we're the ones that pay the taxes. But, you know, I feel first, CDD has way more money than they need, and there's a lot of waste in this organization. And I think if the board spent more time trying to see how we can optimize the use of this money, it'd be better. We also need vendors like engineers and people that execute the plan. Because, I mean, I've been sitting in this board almost 3 years now. And we've been pushing and pushing and pushing. And the things that are urgent are not getting done. In 2020, they raised this, what is it, like 70, 90%? I mean, we used to pay nothing once. And now we're paying more than, 100% almost what we did before. And now we want another increase, right? But nothing's really changed. We haven't acquired anything new. The storm drain issue is, I hate that we keep selling the storm drain issue as a catastrophic situation. The issues that this community has with storm drains occurs everywhere. Okay, it occurs everywhere. Florida has soft, sandy soil. We have a lot of moisture. Water table's high. When the pipes shift, they crack. Openings happen. The thing is, you need a maintenance program. You need to be on top of these drains. When you see depressions, you gotta get them done. And time is our enemy, because we don't do it in a timely fashion, then we deal with these bad depressions, right? And I just think that I hate to say it, but when the thing hits the fan, then I feel like everybody moves. Like with the issue of Villa Preciosa, I was there for almost 5 years. But when I dropped the ball, I said, this needs to be fixed, and I had an argument, and we shouldn't get to that point. Then 3 hours, the issue was fixed. You understand? And that, to me, it hurts, because I love this community. And it hurts that our residents, our homeowners have to deal with these issues for so long when they can be easily fixed. We have the money, right? The previous engineer said, oh, you guys don't want to commit enough money. If I see a bid to fix the things that need to be fixed, that is higher than my comfort zone, but it's gonna be done, I'll be fine with it, because we have the money. But right now, I set the 150 because that's comfortable, and I don't see any work being done. So I figure that's a motivation that we commit to a certain amount. But at this point, I said, in my opinion, I think we need to work with what we have, and we need to show the homeowners that we can do more. That's my opinion. Because the average increase across business, standard average increase across business is 5 to 6% per year, right?
For your
One
contract.
year, we got hit with 90%. So that should be good for what, at least 20 years? You understand? And it didn't work out that way. And they told us, they stole that to us. I wasn't on the board at the time. They stole it to us, saying that it was going to be 3 years, and then we would go back to paying what we did. Never happened. It was a permanent increase.
Their theory makes sense, because once you clear the storm damages, you should be able to, at least, if nothing for nothing, you should be able to take that 300,000 down to maybe 50. But here, and this is my professional opinion, and I empathize with you as a homeowner. I get it. But the reality is your community is getting older. So you do have a responsibility to uphold the entire infrastructure of this community. And we're getting older year over year. So what's happened in the last 5 years has been what we're seeing. And I can't speak on what was being done before, but I can tell you, since we've been together of March, we're executing, we're getting things done. I feel very confident in the next fiscal year that we're going to be able to achieve a lot of these drainage projects. I think Pete is a great addition to the team. I think he's been, really good to work with. He's showing up. And, I think you give the new team a chance. I can professionally tell you that I looked at your budget. You saw that we just didn't do random increases. We took from several line items and we increased the line items to not only account for the infrastructure things that we got going on, but also to bring your community up to, proper standards. I mean, case in point is the clubhouses, the monuments. You guys live here, you want nice things. And, the unfortunate part of this is the increases year over year in all of my districts. I manage 10 in all of my districts. 8 of you guys got increases this year. And there's only so much that the management and the board could do when your landscaper's asking for more money, your pool guys are asking for more money, your handyman's asking for more money. So yes, in a perfect world, we can limit increases, but what we should be doing is, to give you an illustration, you should have been budgeting 50,000 from the get in order to, when you reach this point and you got a bill for 500 grand, we're covered. It's in the reserves. But unfortunately, you're making up ground for years of things that just weren't accounted for because nobody thought about it. I get it. You're a homeowner. You're not thinking about these things. You're not thinking about storm drainage. But this administration is making up ground for everything that hadn't been done since your establishment.
I've been here since 2013, and I've been hearing this over and over and over. And we're paying double, and we're still in the same situation. So
it looks like nothing's been done.
Sanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. And I think that's what we're doing right now. My suggestion that this board consider an increase no higher than 6%, what is the contractual standard. And let's see, I'm optimistic that with you on board, we're going to get somewhere this year. And if we do, I'll support an increase next year, but not this year.
So right now, we don't gotta have the 300, right? The 300,000 on the budget, on the reserve, like if we don't do increase, right?
So ideally, let's say right now let me see. So if you look at your general fund, you're proposing a $42,000 increase in your general fund. And then in your reserve, you're proposing a $51,000 increase. So, you'd have to take a percentage of that if you wanted to limit this.
Which is the number you're reading out?
Line 95 on page 4 on the top right, you'll see there. Actually, let me make sure. I might be incorrect.
That's the view number.
Sorry, yeah, general fund on the front page, you're proposing on your general fund a $76,000 increase. And then in your reserve, a $50,000 increase, roughly. I'm giving you rough numbers. Yeah, I think it's a strong budget. I would recommend to Ariel's.
How much with the current assessment? How much is going into the?
So you're collecting 150,000 in your reserve.
But this is with this one. Yeah.
With this one. So you're
with one. With hold on.
With the proposed budget. You are carrying over 150,000 and you're charging the residents 150,000.
My question is, how much did we put in reserves in 2025?
291 that you put. Well, you moved over 170 and some change. Bear with me. And then you collected a percentage of that. Yeah, you moved over 171,000. And you collected in the tax roll 98,000.
Okay, and how much are we gonna have this year to put into reserves?
You're collecting 150, you're moving over 150 from your excess, you would have a total of 300,000 at your disposal.
You're basically want to double the reserve contribution, that's what this budget is proposing?
No, your current reserve is, you have 294,000 budgeted. So you're really just rounding it up to 300. We had discussed with the chair, 300 is kind of the ideal number that I think we've all discussed. In order to offset the increase, you're only charging the resident 150 of that 300, and you're moving over from your surplus 150 instead of hitting them with a $300,000 smack. Last year, you moved over 170,
How much is total in reserves right now?
196.
That's all we have in reserves? Total?
You moved over 170,000.
So where is the money that you talked about earlier today? You were saying something about 600,000.
Your surplus in your general fund, you have 470,000 roughly that you're
Do we
carrying.
need that much surplus in the general fund?
So, case in point, this community, little lightning, hello, it's coming down.
Wow.
This community, as you're seeing it, if, let's say you depleted all your resources, and to your illustration, let's say the road caved in tomorrow. Now you have 200,000 in surplus. You have your assessments. You're not budgeted for a $500,000 expense. What happens if you got to come out of pocket 300,000 that you don't have? That's the situation that you really can't be in. That's why an increase like this makes sense, because you're keeping your reserves somewhat intact. You're starting to build up that little surplus to get through the storm repairs. And then once that's done, we can start talking about some decreases.
I'm sorry.
It's my professional opinion. You guys can take it or leave it. Yeah.
Professional opinion, but, you know, I'm a tangible guy.
Sure.
If I don't see it, I don't support it, and that's my take.
Sure.
I mean, let's move on.
Up to the board. You guys could discuss.
Yeah, so let's get a motion, whatever we want to approve. Do your motion if you want to.
My motion is that we increase no higher than 6% in order to maintain the standard with inflation. And we'll revisit the rest of the money next year, depending on how much we get done.
What is the 6%?
6%?
How about that?
By what can you want?
Let me see. Right now you propose what, a 13% increase? Bob?
13.3%.
Yeah, 13.3. So yeah, you'd be cutting it in half. And
Even God didn't build the world in one day, right?
amen to
So
that.
we have to go at our pace, and I think 150 is tolerable for everybody based on what we've seen so far. And like I said, I respect that you're optimistic about this coming year.
Sure.
And I want to get stuff done, though. If we can get stuff done, I'm sure that all the homeowners here will have no problem paying more. But right now, it's not enough, you know?
So question for you, since you do have a surplus, do you just want to carry over an additional surplus in order to offset to a 6%?
That's what I would do, yes. That's what I would suggest.
As long as we have enough in our operating fund to start next year, because remember, tax roll doesn't come in until February or March.
Correct.
January, yeah, late.
You got like 3 months with what we can manage.
So what is that number? What's 3 months of expenses? What
What
is the cushion that you suggest we should have?
based on your
Forget about catastrophic effects, just to handle our budget.
what do you spend on an average on a monthly basis?
No, I think you take the total budget and divide it by 12. Go by 4, 3 months.
Well, you're exceeding your budget, so what I want to see is kind of, bear with me here. So let's look at, well, this is.
742.
I wanted to say it's probably about $100,000.
Probably 100 grand. I'm looking at your May to look
Based on
at,
what we've been looking at right now.
bear with me.
$30,000.
Meeting minutes. All right, board package, 38,000 in March.
So based on my experience, the calculation is 185,000.
A month?
Let's do 250, you say.
You want to move over
That
250?
would be the cushion that we should leave in our operating to overcome any shortages we may have. The rest of the money should be put in reserves. That's my suggestion.
Okay.
You want to go to 300? 300 sounds good too.
So you're talking right now, we had like 440 something, you say 449 on general, so the 449 to pass to leave 250 and the rest.
Correct, and that would offset whatever rate you were proposing.
Well, hold up, yeah, well, I guess then you add 150. So right now, your total increase is $226,000 and $226,505. I mean,
Is it the same money?
what?
It's the same amount, isn't it?
This is what we propose the
If we do
increase.
6%, and we put the rest from the surplus,
Right,
we'll be good, we'll still have the same amount of money. We would just have less surplus.
right. So yes, what you want to carry over is what I'm trying to determine.
Mhm.
So you're basically going to cut this in half. So
How much is the total that you have in surplus?
bear with me. Let me do some quick math and I'll be able to.
I think
answer.
he said 449.
449 even?
Yeah.
But it's not the surplus that we're talking about. It's only the increase. Because I mean,
No, he's talking about the surplus.
so you divide,
So look, it gives me 149 exactly to go into the reserves from the surplus.
I'm getting 113,000
How do
to
you
cut this in half. So, okay, you propose $226,505.
I'm proposing that we do whatever remainder.
No, I hear you. Check me out. Let me try to break this down for you. So we have a total year over year that we proposed an increase of $226,000 roughly, right? You want to collect half of that, and then the other half you would want to move in from your surplus in addition to the 150. Am I losing?
Yeah.
Okay. 226,000 is what we proposed to increase. So we want to make up that gap with surplus. You currently said, hey, we're going to move over 150 to offset this 226. So now to offset this to your 6% roughly, you'll take the 226, you divide that by 2, and you're saying, in addition to the 150, I'm going to move an additional 114,000. Then that's going to bring the cost of the residents down in most likely half.
So this is where I did the confusion. So you're saying the 449 already includes the 150 that can be transferred to reserves at the end of the year?
Yes.
Because
That's where it's coming from.
Close to 600,000. You said something about.
Right, but here's the issue. If you bring over a bunch of your surplus, you're actually going to decrease the assessments, but then you're going to be limiting your surplus. So
Yeah, but that thing, that's why he wanted. He wanted to use the 449 to keep on the general fund 250,000 or 300,000. Keep it.
you're going to decrease your assessments. Well, yeah, you're going to decrease your assessment because you proposed 226,000. If you move over 250, you're not charging the residents anything else at that point. You're giving them a break of 30,000 roughly.
I'm not a problem with that.
All right, let's do this.
So look, right now, our budget is 742,694. Do we agree on that, according to this, right? Right. So that's the total revenue, right? If I'm proposing a 6% increase instead of a 13, that's $45,000, right? Plus 742,694 will give us a budget for next year of 787, right? Right. All right, you're proposing a 13.3, right? 742. This is because I calculated my 6% and I'm proposing.
No, but that would be.
And I'm adding it to this.
No, this is my total number.
So this is not where we're at now, this is 25.6.
Yeah, this is your proposed budget. You're at,
Oh, the proposed increase includes this, you're gonna confuse me.
nah,
This is what we're paying now.
you're
That's
not,
not extending.
you're not paying. You're paying now 687. This is your increase for the 7,000. So hear me out.
Okay, so this number is not the number,
That's your proposed budget.
because this says 25.26.
Right, you're in 24, 25.
Ah, actually.
All right, let's do some math.
So give me that number again.
All right, real quick, what we're looking here. So this is what you're looking at, right? Because this is the increase. This is what you're proposing to increase in your general. fund.
That's your proposal.
Well, this is the proposal that we approved in our previous.
This is 13.
That's the 13. Well, that's part of the 13. So in addition to that, you know, you want to put that in your calculator? Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm gonna calculate.
All right. And then in here, you are proposing an increase of
what's in here. All right, forget about this right now. Let's work with this total number of money coming in, okay?
Exactly.
So,
But you realize that the reserve is also part of the big amount on the back that you're getting in the home. It's two. So the reserve and the general fund are what's making up this back.
so what's the total? That's what I'm asking.
Right, so
So what is the total right now? 2025. What is the total that is going this one to the reserves and general?
687, 475, this is a good exercise.
How about,
Well,
is that how much is collected? Is it
that's what
actual?
collected this current year.
That's the total.
That can be collected this year. Yeah.
Okay, so let's look with that. It's the same thing.
But this is also part of your revenue. You also collect for this.
Separately or within that collection?
Think of it like this. We break it down into two parts, but you have a big pot of money. One pot of money, we just illustrate it to you.
Right, but you bring it in two parts after it's collected. I just want the total. I don't care about the situation.
Well, why it's important is because this number also pertains to the increase in the total that you collect annually.
Correct. What I want to prove to you is that with 6% increase and put in another 150 in there for the surplus, we're gonna get to almost the same number, maybe slightly lower.
No,
And I'm here's the budget, and take 6% of it. What you want, Mario?
Exactly.
And then let them define, to take that money and put it in reserves or general fund.
Exactly. I'm not worried about how you're gonna split it. I'm just worried about how much we're gonna pay.
At 113, if you collect an additional 113, I believe it would bring us, and I mean, honestly, since we're doing numbers, give me a second. Give me 5 minutes, board. I'm gonna pull up our budget. I'm gonna plug it into the spreadsheet and we're gonna plug it away.
I mean, math is math, it's very precise. 13.3 divided in half is gonna be like 6.6
We're just doing different calculations.
something, you know, and there's seven something. And
But apparently,
it is what it is.
that's something that happened, like if you put money from the plus to this one, I think that's what it created the issue. When you put it
Right,
to the,
he's telling me that what we collect comes in one pot on the total assessment,
That's correct.
right? Then that money he puts in reserve, right? If that's the way it works, it shouldn't matter. Money is money.
Yeah.
So we're gonna collect 6% extra in the total pot, which is gonna allow us to put an extra money, half of that into, or the extra 6% in there. And then whatever surplus we have sitting there that's not really moving, move the other part of the 13.3%
so,
reserve.
So
We'll have less money sitting around, but we have.
then what we can do better is just do the 6%. When the money's in the account, we do a motion to move money from there to
If we
the.
do that.
Yeah, that's
Even
it.
better, we can hold the money there. until we need it.
Me.
I'm good with that. I'm good with that too.
It's easier.
All right. This is a 2% increase. So
I'll give you another 0.5%. How about 6.5%?
bear with me.
Come on, guys. I'm 10 hours deep. from work.
No, this is good. I mean, we're talking about good things. I want to make sure we're doing it correctly.
Is my motion still valid or?
Well, hold up. Let's actually work this table here.
Wow, this water.
All right. So roughly,
Less than water. Do we should be one of the best water? For the boys.
some water.
Yeah.
We could get some water.
Anyways, that could help us out.
For what? What do you want? Water bottles?
Get some water bottles to keep here.
To put on the.
Or the water bubble.
I know. Not even that post COVID or.
Right, you can take it out and get the water.
I thought one of the instruments. Model.
Oh, I see. You said to fill the.
Yeah, I got the.
All right. So your 6.5% increase, 6.52. Let me, President, I'm going to turn the TV to the board real quick, just for this. Okay, so that is what. That is what carrying an additional, an additional 65,000 would look like from your reserves. So you'd be rolling over 215 instead of the 150.
That's from the general.
And that's, the 215 is excess.
Excess funds, yeah.
And then it becomes the reserve at 300?
Correct.
Yeah.
It would, well, and then you're still,
85,000 from the sub.
you're still gonna collect, you're still collecting in your reserves instead of the 150, you're collecting 85 on the tax roll.
So what is the total?
So you'll have
How does
300,000.
that number go down when we're increasing the money? It doesn't make sense.
Because you're,
It's a percentage of. Like
What?
the increase that we have, like you have the two buckets, you have the money for the bonds, which we don't touch.
Yeah.
You have money that goes to operating costs, and but part of that percentage is what's going into the reserve. So if you decrease what you're collecting, you by a certain percentage, you decrease the amount of that percentage is going to the
Correct.
reserves.
Correct, but that's not what I'm saying. So the 85,000 is gonna be on top of what we already put together.
correct.
That's the amount next year's goal.
Correct, correct. That's what I'm saying. And right now, with the increase proposal, you guys are proposing another 150 instead of 85, right?
Correct.
So I'm saying, make up the difference with the surplus money.
That's what we're doing.
What do you just calculate?
Oh, so you're talking, so you're talking
So
about,
obviously, you keep saying that we're lowering the assessment, and we're not.
so, no, so. what-
No, I said that you would lower the assessment if you carried over the majority and just kept 250 in your surplus. Because you have roughly 600,000. If you rolled over 450, you're going to exceed what you were going to charge them anyways. You would bring down the
Right,
assessment.
but I think, Chairman just said, we can just leave the money that if we need it, we can always make a motion to move it mid-year.
But here's the issue, you wouldn't be collecting anything. So you'll collect your regular
I'm talking
assessment.
about later, not now. We put the 6% and then we move it.
I think the point being, we got the 6%. It looks like this.
I'm
Now,
more concerned as to which pocket the money's gonna go in. I'm just concerned about the total amount of money.
So
To
how
me,
much
the
is,
pocket doesn't matter. You can always break up the pocket however you want. What matters is how much you're gonna collect in total.
yeah, so 150, right?
the,
150?
yes.
A year.
A year,
150, right?
150 total for
And
the
then the
year.
townhouses is $100.
100.
Yeah.
You're good with this? Whoa.
I'm fine with it as long as the board's fine.
So make the motion again.
Okay. I make a motion to approve a 6.5% increase in the total assessment for this,
Real quick, 6.52.
6.52%.
Okay. 6 point,
Mario did a motion,
I'll second that.
second by Dustin. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
I'm sorry, who's second?
Mark.
Second from Mark.
Okay, so we're going now back to. Oh, yeah.
Move it forward, remember?
And now, do we have to close this one too, right?
You already closed the public hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would be jumping into,
This is a.
Yeah, we're going. to-
well, there's one more associated with her resolution.
Oh.
It's under section F.
Oh, public hearing, physically special assessment.
Yes. So you would open, close.
Can I get a motion to open the public hearing of fiscal year 2025-2026?
I'll make that motion.
Mark?
I second the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Uh,
Then,
Open up for comments.
anyone have any comments on the 2025-2026 special assessment?
assessment,
Yeah, assessment.
it's a special assessment.
Okay.
Anybody?
No comments?
Motion, what's the special assessment for?
No, no special assessment. He mispronounced that. It was just to be a second. Okay,
Yeah.
no special assessment. I don't like special assessment.
Take a motion to close.
Motion to close.
Motion to close.
Second,
But then,
oh, hold on. Kristen?
Who was it,
okay,
Ariel?
are you on page 53, correct? Tab 8, Brian?
Yeah, it's your,
2025-15?
That's right. And it's the special assessments portion of like the collection of the bonds.
Okay, because I'm looking at 2025-15, a resolution basically relating to the annual appropriations and adopting the budget for fiscal year beginning October 1st and ending September 30th, 2026.
They made a motion from Mario, seconded by Mark, to adopt resolution 2025-15, adopting fiscal year 25-26.
With the 6.5.
Okay, I
With
just wanted to
the-
make sure that that was clear for the record. Okay,
Yeah, the 6.52%.
with the 6.
And then-
Okay.
Resolution.
6.523333.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got the motion by Corey, second by Correa. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
To close the public hearing. Okay, and then Kristen, do you want to highlight to the board the special assessments associated, the collection aspect of it? Resolution.
It's a
You're just
process.
authorizing us basically to levy this special assessments to fund the fiscal year 2025-2026 budget that was just adopted by the board. So we just need a motion to approve the district moving forward with levying the special assessments in order
That's what
to
they're called.
fund the budget that was just approved, all in accordance with the Florida law.
Thank you, Kristen. Looking for a motion, board.
Can I get a motion for the special assessment again?
So yes, this is the collection aspect of it,
Collection
yeah,
process.
Make a motion for the collection.
and levying, yes.
Mark, can I get a second? Second by Danny.
Corey.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? None? Motion carries.
So we learned something new, John. Regular assessment CDs called special assessment. I didn't know.
I didn't know what it is.
Yeah.
Hey, I know
It's the
this
same
was,
thing, special assessment, right?
Well, when HOA turns special assessments additional money, that's
Yeah.
why.
Gotcha. No.
this is a quick question for the repairs of that moving gutters. Because we're not supposed to have a waterfall here.
We haven't got that far. Nobody's proved that we got
Okay,
it. That's a good idea.
Is that part of what's also going to be?
It will be
Oh,
now.
that's gonna be, yeah.
Okay.
On all this that we're doing, yeah, it's all the repairs.
Here, doing that. So
That's,
Yeah, I've never seen that. All right.
no,
back
it's
to
a
you.
lot, it's all over. Yeah, I'm telling you, all of them are like waterfall. Okay, we're going to community updates, the field services update. Obviously, we got the security updates report that we always get. Make sure if you're not getting it, you want to get them, get with Brian so we can get the security updates. I spoke with Brian and we approved, and that's something that we need to talk as a board for security. I don't know if you noticed, we have a security person during the week. We've been having a lot of teenagers since the summer. They've been coming in and from the other community using the recreation, telling homeowners to open the clubhouse. So I requested Brian to talk to Magnasec to approve, to get at least Monday and Wednesday for 1 week and then changing it for the next week, Tuesday and Thursday. But that's something that the board need to work on if they want to keep moving that forward just for the summer and like a spring break.
Yeah, I think we
or
said
just the
Memorial
concept.
Day to Labor Day.
Yeah.
With the summer months.
How much will it cost?
It's the same hourly, the 23, what is it, 1,000?
About how many hours it cost?
We're talking, what, 8 additional, or
20,
16
16
additional
hours,
hours?
yeah.
16 additional hours a week.
16 hours a week.
Yeah, so in total is 40 hours with the 3 that we have on the
12
weekend.
weeks and 1 week, so 13 weeks a year.
Yes, what's Labor Day? May, June, July?
Oh, you guys want to do Labor Days?
Memorial Day to Labor Day, usually, so summer months usually are between Memorial Day and Labor Day.
Summer and, spring break, I thought that's what he said, but you said also Labor Day and.
We had discussed to like start these hours, extra hours, it would be from Memorial Day to Labor Day, which is May, so June, July, August, September. So you'd have 4 months of an additional 16 hours a week. 16 hours a week times
64 hours.
times
What
4,
else?
$256 or
What about March spring break? Remember that there?
could, do you want to add some extra services for like holidays?
That's another 16. Let's start with that. That's 80 hours extra. You said how much is it?
The
21.
23 an hour.
Oh,
That's what he put on the contract.
that's $2,000.
For times 23.
16 hours a week.
Correct.
Two,
Because it's 12 weeks plus 1 week for spring break, that's 13 weeks. And then the holidays. Well, we only gonna do spring break, I'm sorry, I'm getting confused on it. Spring break and the month from Labor Day, you said Memorial Day to Labor Day,
right,
it's 3 months.
which
Should be like 13 weeks total,
4 times,
13 times 16.
I think it's like 4,700.
I'm getting 5,888 total for the year, 5,888.
Yeah,
I got
something like that. Yeah.
Okay, that's still good though.
5,888. Okay.
I don't want, that was kind of 1 day a week, but it's just really that.
All right. So the additional services from Memorial Day to Labor Day to include spring break is good. What's going on?
Okay, like I said, they can potentially destroy things as they've done in the past, it costs us money anyways.
Yeah.
Well, I was able to stop one kid here that he looked, I don't know.
Well, one last something, Brian, how is it handled in other communities in terms of like, because a lot of people come here to use our amenities and I'm almost sure that some of them don't belong here, like, you know, I don't feel comfortable asking them, but like, for example, every Sunday, there's like an instructor of tennis here with students. And I don't think he lives here. But from 8 to 10, he's using our tennis courts. I think he's operating a business.
Do we have to call the police, right?
That's a good question. I mean, you guys, yeah, go ahead, Kristen.
I would say if someone could take a photograph of that, send it to Brian, or if you know who's conducting the tennis lessons there. That's technically a private benefit that would be being received from the
They don't live here.
restrictions against that. So correct. So either way, whether they live there or not, there's still an issue. So I would say try to find out who's conducting those lessons for profit,
Yeah,
and
my
then
question was
send
how-
that information over to Brian.
I just wanted to know what is common practice in other places to verify that people that are coming to use the facilities actually belong.
Yeah, it's security. So, and we actually work very well with the security team. Myself and the chair kind of oversee any issues that may arise throughout the week. We send out notices if somebody's found violating these rules or somebody, I think what we've been seeing is somebody that lives in the community is letting others in. So we'll get the identification of the resident, send out a notice to the resident, letting them know, hey, this is against the rules, kind of giving them a warning. In other communities, some people have adopted a risk policy, a wristband. Not a very hot topic there. Other ones, it's just have the security personnel come by, politely, hey, with the community, just doing a round of check, what resident are you associated with? People are pretty receptive. Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to business administration, consideration of the meeting minutes of the board meeting.
I did review these, board. Feel free to look over them for yourself. Everything was in accordance to the previous meeting. I recommend no changes that I was able to find. Would recommend approval when ready.
Okay, good. Can I get a motion to approve the minute of June 10th? Supervisor Correa, can I get a second?
I'll second.
Second by Gosling. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We go into ratification, operation, and maintenance expenditures of
May.
May.
Tab 3. Be open to questions. Let me know if anything stands out on the billing, guys. If not, be looking for a motion to approve when ready.
Motion to approve.
Tony Cruz, second. Second by Gustin. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Business item, we have the ratification of district items. So this is something that Mr. Mendez was talking about, the Sterner funds. That's the item that we approved, the 2,600, and we still have the 2,000, and you gotta keep, checking, like council mentioned, right?
Yes.
Do we have to do one by one, or?
No, you could just approve items 1 through 3 if there are no questions.
Then we have the Arlington. And the Asphalt Kingdom, and this one was already done last time, the pre-approved, so. So can I get a motion to approve those, if no questions?
Ratification of items 1 through 3.
Motion to ratification of items 1 and 2.
What's going on with asphalt?
Very good. It was last meeting, they're approved it when.
Yeah, it was up to 5,000.
Yeah. I guess you're just ratifying the
Oh,
the purchase. Yeah.
So now we're going to include 3 and the 3.
Okay.
Can I get a second? Second by Mr. Correa. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And in here, you got top 5. This is some consideration of Amazon maintenance proposals. Proposals.
You want to review this with the board here?
Yeah, in here, as you see, it was mentioned before, the tables that they were taken from, the area over here, I forgot the. Yeah, the picnic area. So I find out, as you mentioned, Corey, the tables are made like PVC or composite. So I found them in Amazon, more or less that price, less than Uline. Uline was like 1,300 each.
Yep.
Then in here, they got some little items like to paint. That's for the streets. When the machine comes, they can use it to paint, the curb, the stencil for the parking lot. You have the ADA, that some of the areas that we have in the community, the sidewalk, we need to have the ADA for the blind. Obviously, we have one person in the community that use them. So we need to have those that are broken. At least I figure out the worst one, so, because they're not cheap.
They're not cheap. We potentially, they make truncated domes in bricks.
Yeah.
And when we look at the cost of those, I just feel like they're gonna last longer than these plates.
I was told that those last less, supposedly.
Last?
Yeah,
I'll,
yeah, but that's something that,
let me ask, I have an industry standard through work for disability advocacy in the aviation industry. I will ask my contacts there.
and they have to open the concrete or put it on top
They have to open the concrete.
and then build
The
it.
regular like paper.
Yeah, no, I saw them, the paper. Yeah.
But they may be less overall, because this, I have a feeling we put the truncated domes out there with GMS. And here we are, we were replacing those.
No, this is no one, this is by other sidewalks. So these ones so far, they're good. We only did the clubhouse area.
Right.
So now we're missing all the way by the sidewalks, by the 4 corners.
We're just okay.
Yeah.
That's how we were.
No, little by little, because those are gone. So we
Yeah.
don't have anything. Now, I saw the communities, they come with a grinder and they do like
I don't think.
lines, but I don't think that's.
Universal.
Yeah, they have to be.
The domes are stripes are the great universal. I'll ask when I
Yeah.
get my contacts.
So anyway, so those, then, in here, some residents are leaving the, how do you call that, the umbrellas up and they're breaking, so I found those online on Amazon just to replace them. We have like 3 of them over here, so, and then the barbecue grill that we took out because it broke, that's right there as well. And the thermostat, on the gym that is broken, this one,
The box.
yeah, the box.
Just some thoughts. We're investing in umbrellas, not for huge costs. We never saw the completion of putting the pergola back out there that kind of came to a stop.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that's something that we're still finding, how do you call that, vendors, yeah.
do we hold up for now and not spend the money and use some of that and we're gonna explore that more? You know, it's a huge cost, but you want to control every cost we have.
No, obviously not, yeah, we have to save money as well.
So
How many umbrellas we have that are still usable? Meaning that operate well, but I don't care about the stand, but the umbrellas that operate correctly,
Yeah.
still are effective.
No, we have the umbrella, but the thing that is breaking is just the,
You have umbrellas in here too.
yeah, those umbrellas, the thing that is breaking is the, how do you call that, the cloth, but the mechanism and everything is working. But I couldn't find just.
Oh, I see. But the umbrellas are broken, the cloth is broken, the umbrellas are broken.
Yeah. So the only thing that you see there, that's what we have working, I think is one only.
What I was gonna suggest, like what Corey said, like maybe just keep the ones that are still working, the ones that are broken, that are safety issues, just take them out.
Yeah, they're gone.
And then let's work on getting the pergola done, and then we decide if we still want to do that or not.
Okay.
Because it might provide enough shade that you might not have to do anything.
No.
So the pergola project is in queue. We're prioritizing the docks right now that we've been gathering bids for and your court resurfacing that's coming up. Do we want to bump this up in front of those?
I think it's more important than those two. I think it's something we could sell the community on, or to have that replaced or whatever we do out there. They're more used to a pool than we're used to having those two items at the moment.
Well, I know the dock, a lot of people in Nashville, but I don't know. A lot of people here, they have the canoes and stuff, they want to use it, but that's another one. Obviously, he has like 4 proposals, but if he get it by August, get more of the pergola. Because the pergola, we've been working on it for how long?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, we talk about visitor pergola, we talk about this, the whole thing, we talk about putting sun sails up.
Yep.
Yeah.
To provide shade. So,
I just kind of shade underneath the covered areas. I mean, we don't really need as well. They just look nice.
I know, yeah.
So, I mean, I can wait, I think.
No, yeah, the umbrella. Now what we're talking about is
The pergola?
the pergola, yeah.
So you would approve this cart without the umbrella and the little bottom part for it?
We don't need it yet.
Yeah, we don't need it.
Yeah, because, yeah, we don't need it now, yeah.
And then I have concerns with the picnic table.
I was gonna say.
Two areas. One, there's a metal frame, they actually make them with all composite, they are a little bit more. And if we're putting big tables back out there, in terms of accessibility, we should at least consider putting one picnic table out there that is accessible for a wheelchair user. If we have to be inclusive, because we're technically public, right? We're putting truncated domes down, we should consider that as well. Those users that could potentially be there.
Where do you say to put those?
This year, it looks like your metal frame.
Yeah.
They make them so they're all plastic. That way there's nothing to rust.
That's it.
So I would suggest that they are a little bit more. I was doing some looking into them real quick. There's various phones out there, but you can give them $2,000. To about 900. They're a little bit more expensive. They are completely composite. They're all plastic. And the ones that I was looking at actually are ADA accessible.
You want to
So
send us?
that's the round one.
Where's the big one?
This is a rectangle one.
That picture?
Let me just go over to Brian.
Yeah, if you got the ADA, that's good.
The ones we had are only $700.
I know.
The thing is that they went bad because of poor maintenance. You have maintenance crew, you pay them, you maintain them, they should make money.
Yeah, they has 20 years.
I know the amount, $700.
These, so if I do research, you're saying 50 years plus is the life expectancy on this.
I won't be here then.
There you go, guys.
Well, I clicked on it because it's the link to the.
Oh, yeah, this one.
Yeah, that's what we see. That's the one that I was saying to put on the basketball court.
So you're saying this one, Corey?
Why is number 18, 1200, and something 900? So there's size.
Hexagon.
Yeah, size. But here's one that was like 9, you just see in there.
And how many units we need?
Well, if we put 2 over here, and I would say that people need a picnic area over here by the pool. You know, I would say 4 in there, and that basketball court, you can fit 4. And a grill.
I mean, you
But
got,
if you do that, that's gonna become a hangar. Know that.
The same over there, no?
Hmm?
That's something that we can look into it.
I mean, right now, did somebody bring a table there somehow? I saw a table there.
Well, that table is moving from there, over there, over there.
I know.
It's the rolling table.
Yeah.
Because the same people come in and hang out that brought it. They use it there to hang out. I said when we replace what's damaged, I don't feel we should be adding anything. I don't think we need to spend so much on them. I'm okay with that. I don't want to, whatever you guys want to do.
My biggest concern is the accessibility, or at least one that's accessible.
But the metal ones are accessible too, it's a snack.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, these here where I was able to look up real quick that are completely composite, almost like the plastic.
But do we always have the accessible? We
No,
never
we
did.
never have.
Yeah.
But right, we're looking at these things forward. looking.
But if you do a rectangle, right, table, the person can be on that side where it ends, so.
They can't because their feet aren't going to.
No, that's when they turn,
Right, what if they do on the rectangle tables is it has the cantilever over the
But
edge.
in this one, they can.
Oh, yeah, that
Doesn't
one,
have that.
that's the one that we used to
Not
have.
enough space. There's actually requirements, ADA requirements, and how far that cantilever is over.
this is wheelchair accessible.
Yeah, but that's 2,000.
It's not saying we're spending the money.
Yeah.
I'm saying we can define this real quick as an example.
So if we replacing 2, what we can do is vote on an amount up to,
That's what you want to do.
because then we can have Brian to check if he can find the accessible one at a price that we are looking for.
Do you guys care about the shape or you want just ADA
I'm
compliance?
saying that those are ADA compliant, the ones that I'm showing. Ones that were there are ADA compliant, because people in wheelchairs can transfer. He wants to do, what he suggested, doing one that has space for them just to pull up with the wheelchair and don't have to move from the wheelchair.
Council,
I'm not sure we can do that.
Council, do we need picnic tables to be, what is it? The
ADA
ADA, yeah.
Yes, I would recommend that, yeah.
They're suggesting that that's the way to use it.
Well, that's a different table, the first table shouldn't. Same style, it's just the same, it's longer on the ends, you stick it a little. You didn't put your chair on there.
So if you guys got an amount, just approve, so then we can remove those from here, the chairs. And what else? The umbrella.
So first, I would take a motion to approve the cart with removing the picnic tables and the umbrellas.
I'll make a motion that we approve the card, the picnic table, and the umbrella.
Okay,
Can I get a second? Second by Correa. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. Then, we need to approve the amount for the 2 tables. How much? Yeah, it have to be voted, yeah.
Will the tables fit in the current footprint, or will you have to add to it?
We would make it fit the current footprint.
Yeah.
That's what size we made, the rectangle square, I think they were squares. or
Yeah, and there was, yeah. Well, the ones that we was there, they were kind of like the one that is over here on the playground. Yeah. Yeah.
to a not to exceed of,
$1,200 for two of them.
okay,
How much?
Two of them.
Or this one had 18, or well, 18 to 16. Sorry, I'm not.
The cheap one that Mario had was what, 800?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be 800 apiece, at least.
So then.
2,000,
2,000.
not exceed 2,000.
Is there a trash can in there by chance?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's over here. Yeah, it's one there. Yeah, it one there, yeah.
Let's say, you're gonna.
No, we replaced them. That's the new one that we put in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're at it.
Okay,
Okay, motion by Corey, second by Correa. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
all right.
Okay, gym maintenance. So we have, where we at?
Two proposals, tab 6.
Yeah. So we got the gym maintenance, preventive maintenance. We got two of them on tab 6. You can see commercial fitness product and Fit Red. Fit Red is the one that put in the equipment, the multi-gym. Then the other company, I think.
We work with them at Kindred. They both are proposing $195 for quarterly services, so per visit. I have only been able to work with FitRev on the project that you guys oversaw. I do have commercial fitness over in Kindred 1 and 2. Their timeliness is great. Their responsiveness is great. But that's not to take anything away from the other vendor. I mean, they've been pretty good at communications as well. Be up to the board to recommend approval for gym maintenance.
Are they doing this in that's like a lease program?
Yeah.
Does the other one do a lease program?
We didn't check with them yet because we were working on the preventive maintenance, but that's something that I was, looking into it. So, because those machines right now, one of them, I think, asking for another computer service.
Yeah, we're constantly doing stuff, but I thought that the idea of a lease program would be cost effective
Yeah.
potentially.
I think
know
one
for
was
the
also-
5 years, they kind of take everything, every 5 years, the new one.
Do you know?
Where is the cost for FitRev?
It's in their verbiage.
It's not that they want to charge by the hour?
So if you look at the screen there, Mario, it's under preventative maintenance charge. The service fee is $195.
On paragraph 3,
What page?
the first one. First page of preventive maintenance.
Third paragraph. Works fine.
Do you know if the company that you brought, they have,
A lease program? I could find out.
and they send the same machines that Feed Rep send us?
I'm sure if it's industry standard.
You got it's a proposal that Feed Rep.
From Fit Rep?
Yeah, they send us different machines and how much it's gonna cost.
My concern is that they have a suspension of service for late payments and TV's infamous for that, so. They're gonna cancel a contract. So I'm good with either one of them, same price. But FitRev is the one that put the new machine in there, right? They might know more about that machine, I don't know.
I think this was their proposal, I remember. Maybe? Well, broad fit financial, fit red proposal.
Yeah, that's with the car, that I think was like 30,000, I think it was.
There's a car.
But then they did like, it was monthly, I think 600 or something like that.
I don't see a cost.
What is that? Replace the whole gym?
I think this is for the.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, here it is. 33,000.
But then they send like the lease agreement.
Oh, financing
So
option.
this is for lease.
No, that was the
Thousand
bond.
lease.
Right there.
The lease would be monthly payment of 1,000 for 36 months. Equipment cost.
If you do longer, It's cheaper.
Yep, 670 if you wanted to. 60 months.
We have to make sure, like, if they include, like Corey was mentioning, the maintenance and all that, then it's worth it, because then everything is included. We don't need to worry about anything.
Yeah, when it hits his, extended his life, it's replaced.
Yeah.
And they do that,
And they take care of it. I like that.
and then if we cut a stagger in, stagger out.
You spend so much money on repairs every year.
So then should we wait then for next meeting to get another company to get
I mean, this is not, Virginia, the machine's still working right now, right?
Yeah.
So, to me, I
No,
was saying this for next year's budget.
if we need maintenance, we can just call them and then pay for it, you know?
Yeah, I think for now, we should vote on the maintenance plan for
Okay.
now,
Yeah.
because this could be canceled, right? 30 days
Yeah.
notice?
Yes.
Yeah.
Under our service agreement, yes.
Yeah, so I'm okay with doing the service for what we have now, and then when we decide to pull the trigger, we should change.
Okay, can I get a motion on which one?
All right, I'll make the motion for FitRev to do, maintenance on our gym equipment.
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Gordon. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so D, we're looking into that, and
Is it me?
yeah, that was D, the consideration of legal counsel.
Oh, yeah, we were working on gathering more bits for council, and Kristen had highlighted she's gonna be staying on with us for an additional 30 days. Nothing more on that.
Okay, so now we're going to supervisor requests and comments.
Can we consider some doggy signs for CSBU to address that one concern? I think it's pretty quick, easy.
Yeah.
Doggy signs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can add it to the, what else?
Corey, do you want to pick out some signs that you like?
Are you in our Amazon account?
Yes. Well, I could sign on.
It's easier to sign on, you put them in the cart. I mean, send you a link.
You could just send me whichever ones you want. You could send me a picture. You could put it in the cart. Yeah, you could put it in the cart.
Here, there's 14 by 10 signs, don't have poles, we gotta get poles, there are 4 of them for $30.
Yeah.
Put them in the cart.
This is March. All right, I will review the cart later. I don't want to pull up our personal information here.
They basically just say, please be a good neighbor, clean up after your dog, thank you, and have a, stick dog, stick
Yep.
person on them. But we need to get poles to go with them, we'll let, probably should here before we determine what kind of poles we want to use.
But apparently, I think the issue in there, I think it wasn't that they don't leave no poop or nothing. I think it's just the pee, but how you can stop the pee, yeah.
It's happening, but we can
But at least we can put it, yeah, yeah.
attempt to address it.
Yeah.
And then also what we need, since I think I requested, well, that was previous management, to figure out what we can do on that cul-de-sac.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
Center to put like flower, put something, if something is missing in there, and that's what they're looking for. When they come out of their houses, at least see something nice, I don't know, maybe a bench, I don't know, something. Yeah.
I'd love to make that into a couple of parking spots.
Well, that's what I would like, yeah.
That's a lot, but
There's irrigation though.
Yeah,
You can cap it.
I would leave like the big trees, try to find some parking spots.
yeah, right there, you can fit easy 6 car, 3 here and 3 here. Like,
Well, if you just eliminate the roundabout, then they can park anywhere on the street.
Yeah, then you have rid of the trees, and you're.
oh, remove the whole thing. Yeah,
Either remove the whole thing or just make it very small so they can park around
Yeah.
that too, and then they can have parking on both sides.
Yep.
So that's part of the landscape enhancements
Yeah.
that we're going to be working on in the next fiscal year. We could totally revise that whole area.
Yep.
It needs.
Nothing more for me.
Okay.
So you'll just put it in the cart and then we'll
Already
purchase
in
it.
the cart.
Cool. Awesome.
No. Mary? Nothing? Dustin? Okay, nothing. Anyone else from the community? No? Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Close the meeting.
Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
8:38 PM. Thank you, everybody on the call. Kristen, thank you.
Good.